All right, boom. We are live, sir. All right, Murph, mics are good? Yeah. I didn't know if that button worked. Sweet. Yeah, dude, I agree with you 100%. Everything you're saying. 100%, dude.
I mean, I don't know. We're all just trying to figure this shit out as we go.
But I think we can get there. I've been burnt out on the metal for a while. You know, I still love it. I still respect it, but I don't think I have the energy to try to make it anymore.
I've never been so miserable at these being sober, off the fucking booze, off the hard shit, whatever. I'll go on vacation. I'll get loose. I'm not perfect, but I'm healthier than I've been. Okay. Mm-hmm. Coming back into playing music, I was like, dude, this is going to be awesome. Just having a good time. Never have I been so miserable trying to put together shows. And that's not for the baby that I've had forever, right? And it's been a nightmare holding the band together. And it was just like, this is not the way it's supposed to be. And when I'm spiritually put together, I shouldn't be, the synchronicity wasn't happening. And as soon as I was like, this is time to go, I was immediately happier. The music started flowing, and it all made sense.
Sure.
And it's just a positivity flow. It's all that it is. Get rid of the darkness.
Well, here's one thing we don't really talk about very much is back in the day, we didn't have to do that. We had Shannon Brettel and Joe Spanbauer and Bill Berry. They literally did that for us, which is why I don't encourage bands to be this like, we're going to just do everything ourselves. I'm like, I don't think you guys understand.
No, they have no idea.
So let's say just simply once or twice a week, you spend a couple hours trying to book your band. You just dedicate like 2 hours on Sunday. I'm going to wake up, send out emails, and then reply to emails, and I'm going to dedicate 2 hours a week. That's not very much time, it seems like, right? No. But I'm telling you, dude, 2 hours a week that you could be concentrating, that same 2 hours a week, concentrating on writing more songs or rewriting your old songs, writing better songs, practicing your instrument, even if you're not writing creatively, even if you're just like literally going through scales and just keeping your everything you're doing that isn't perfecting your craft is a distraction, and this is why it became a job in the music industry in the first place. And I think it's incredibly arrogant because some people are pretty successful doing it all themselves, and you have to do it all on your own at the beginning.
But those people are also very talented too at the core.
Right.
You know what I mean? If to be able to do that and do it all yourself, that's the other thing.
Even they eventually hand it over. That was going to be the end of my rant. Even they eventually hand it over. Once they reach a certain level, they'll have input, but there's still other people that go do the job.
You'll inevitably get fucked by a shark if you don't. That's what happens.
Dude, another cliche I've said for 1,000 fucking years is I've said there's more business in the music business than there is music in the music business.
People are waiting.
That sucks, dude.
People are waiting. If you don't hand off your business and just focus and give it to a business person, it's inevitable. There are people waiting to snipe you because look at how the conversation started. A guy like me, happy about writing, bitching about people coming at me for no reason. That's a micro level. Let alone an actual business person looking to strip your soul from you and everything.
Right.
Fuck you completely.
Yep.
I mean, why on earth would you handle everything yourself?
It's too much, dude. And like I said, it's 2 hours you could spend being better at your craft.
Right.
It's 2 hours you could spend with your family. Like just get a fucking booking agent.
Right.
And again, if it's this is basically talking economics at this point, but basically it also helps the scene. When there's somebody out there, whether they actually make money or not, because booking agents, it's very hit and miss with those guys, because you got to take a lot of risk when you're a booking agent. But when you let them handle it and you let a guy, maybe a non-musician, have an important role in the music industry, that's also better for the scene and for the industry and for the economy of the music.
Sure.
It's better. It's better because you have more people that are enthusiastic about things, and you have somebody outside of the bands themselves promoting these same shows. That matters a lot too. Hey, I'm booking this show.
Yep.
Now that guy's kind of cool. He books shows, know, but that makes what he's doing sound way more interesting. So people are more interested if you're like, hey, I booked this show, I rented out the venue, I booked these 4 bands. I'm saying it kind of douchey right now.
No, but
if you do the thing, people are like, wow, that's actually kind of impressive. Yeah, I'll come to that, dude.
People are funny. People are funny, right?
You see what I'm saying?
They
when
will,
it's just you and the band and you're like, come to my show.
They'll bitch about you, but then they love to talk about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So in a weird way, you don't even really have to care if you're putting in quality time in your craft. You don't even have to care about the scene. If you're writing good music, people will talk about you, that they like you and hate you in the same breath, and it will self-perpetuate itself.
Correct.
If you just don't think about it.
Yep.
And so that's kind of the secret sauce.
Sure.
Those guys that are doing this shit aren't even worth the attention, is kind of the moral of the story. It's just not even worth it because their end result is we're past that. Like the club we're about to play, it's like seriously that it's not even worth their time, and I don't even know why they still even deal with them. I honestly don't, and I won't have the conversation just because I like those guys, but I don't know why the club still deals with them. Probably because it's a front for something. Honestly, if we're being honest about it, I have no fucking clue. They need to show a loss on fucking half the year. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Not my business.
You excited, by the way?
I am. Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's a good fucking bill. Yeah, I'm really excited.
I haven't played drums on stage in 10 years.
Dude, it's going to be it's a
I'm
great
so old.
It's a great fucking bill. It's a good Quest for Mayhem style all fucking day. I'm super excited, yeah. I haven't been this excited for a fucking show. That Sunday is my last practice with this fucking band, like official practice. That's like weird for me.
When do you usually have your last practice before a show if you're not like how we used to do it? Remember we used to do like every Thursday, Friday, Saturday if you were busy, maybe if you were really busy you'd even get some Sundays in there, and then if you're really busy you'd like open up for nationals on Tuesday, Wednesday and shit. But when it's like a normal band, kind of where we're all at in our careers right now, you're playing a show on like the 9th. You said your last show will basically be 6 days before that.
So
what would it normally be? Because we're going to rehearse the Friday night before the show.
Right. So it'll be the Sunday before. It'll be the week before.
Right. You said that. But what would it normally be?
It would be the week before.
Always, really? You give yourself that much time between your last rehearsal and the show, huh?
Yeah. Yes. Well,
Wow.
Now, for me, if the other guys need it, but at this point, see, here was the thing: was that with now going from 5 to 4, losing a guitar player.
Okay.
It was a positive and a negative thing. We lost thickness and we lost a good player.
I got some thickness you can borrow.
That's what she said. So, but also it was easier to tighten up the operation. And Dennis is one of those. He's like a Tom Morello type player.
Sure.
It was fortuitously we tightened up very quickly, and so Chewy, those guys they figured it out real quick, and I'm very tight with those three guys. We have a synergy with those three guys, and so fortunately 2 weeks ago we got it figured out. Figured out. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is before. Back when I was younger.
When you didn't have it figured out, so for people that don't understand what you're saying, what I think you're saying is it just didn't sound right. It didn't feel right. There was something missing. So were you guys did you guys know what it was and it was just taking you a few weeks to get it nailed down? Or was it like you couldn't figure it out and it just kind of happened organically? Like what went through the process of getting things like tightened up to
when we were younger?
No.
What did you say?
You said just a couple weeks ago you got it figured out.
Oh, okay. So,
because you talked about you went from 5 members to 4 members.
Right.
That's what I'm assuming. That's what you meant.
So
by
I'll
all
give you
that.
the background here. Over the last couple of years, I was in drug rehab in 2022, right? And so it was when I went in there, the lineup that we had at the time, without going through the Rolodex, it was like Hold Down the Fort, right? And it was a 5-piece, okay? And so from that point in time, after I got out, it's just been a struggle keeping the 5-piece together, and it just hasn't been smooth. Shows have been okay, whatever. Fan reaction's been okay, but it's just been a struggle. For me being clean, considering in the past I've been all fucked up, out of control, just belligerent, and things haven't been that way, right? Doesn't make sense type of thing. And so when it became very clear that, Carlson, who's very loyal, right, on fucking point, I have a ton of respect for him, okay? came back in, saw us at the Toys for Tots show when good friend Don Tinsley, who I'm back on good terms with, he's like a fucking brother to me. We had a bad problem at that show, and he did not play that show. Okay, we played it as a 4-piece, and it was Dennis and Al's first show with us. And so bad position for them to be in, and we fucking were aces at that show, benefit show. And after that night, I was like, this is a unique situation to be in, because those dudes just fucking stepped up, and Chewy was like, yeah, there was something in the fucking air in that night. Like, there was fucking people getting into fucking fists, whatever. It was just a good vibe in there. And so, kind of in the back of my mind, I was like, this is going to end up being a 4-piece at some point. Well, when Carlson got busy, and he's got a bunch of bands, it was just like, it just kind of had that feeling that he wasn't going to be able to commit. I mean, he's got his baby, right? He's got Glutton, and he's got his business. I mean, he's far more successful than anything on a corporate level than I have any comprehension of, right? And that's what he does. And he plays a different style of music than, I have invested my creativity into. So I kind of read the tea leaves on it, and he's like, look, I'm putting in a bunch of hours at work. And so at that point, it was clear to me, I'm like, I'm going to bring this up to these guys, right? This should be the last Diesel show. And so as soon as we committed and they were okay with that, it was dialed in when it was a 4-piece, right?
Right.
And so it was just basically that easy. The problem is, a band needs to be a band, right? And you need to coagulate. And so it's always been that way. And when Benji Hellberg, left for Head Charge, I mean, the 30,000-foot view is this. When Brian Otteson died and Benji Hellberg left, and I was living with Cameron Heacock, everything changed here in this city for that style of music. This is my perspective. For this band, for this music scene, and for, my concept of how musician dynamics work. You need the bond between creatively talented people, and it needs to be longer than 6 months, longer than a year, and you need to be invested in it. And it needs to be in the grimy, it needs to be more than on a local level, and you need to be in the place where, like, you see the snakes, right? And it needs to be writing hooks, and it needs to be fucking bringing in number, like that shit. Like, it's gonna hurt, And so when you can't do that, the band isn't good. That's how I was raised as a kid, and I won't ever be able to get that out. And so when you take away a guitar player, you're automatically closer to that. And now I have very talented guys, very fucking talented guys, and we're all doing our job. So the band is back to what it is, but Black Flood Diesel was usually 5 guys. Rebrand it. It's absolutely where it's supposed to be.
So why cancel it now then?
Because I'm over it. Like, I'm just over that vibe,
That style.
I'm not in darkness anymore.
Sure.
And and like it or not, like, that band rode fucking Head Charge's coattails initially. That just
Right.
And this city will always look at it that way, and that's cool. I mean, that's fucking cool, right? That being said,
I don't know if that's a accurate way to say it, though.
Well,
I think what's more accurate is there was a hierarchy, there's a pyramid, and obviously Head Charge sat atop that pyramid just based on success. And you guys were like the next band that was supposed to take the leap, just like every other scene that popped, right? So you had Seattle, you had Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Soundgarden, right? You get one band that pops and a bunch of other bands that come right behind them.
Yeah.
What it looked like from an outsider at the time, right, is they were at the top, they were the tip of the spear, and you were the next rung below that. I think riding the coattails would be an incredibly disingenuous way to say it and phrase it and put it, because again, this is what we kind of need to get back to, is the way the gatekeepers had it is, you kind of came up through this hierarchy,
Right.
and you had to pay some dues, you had to learn some lessons, you had to build a crowd, you had to do a thing.
I mean, the people still had to come out, and fucking First Avenue still had to book us.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
So,
and like, you were still putting 500 people in First Ave
Right.
on fucking whenever you wanted.
over the course of a decade. So it's not I get that. Here's what I'm
Right.
saying. That's not the best music that I can play in that genre. And I know that. I'm better now at what I do, and I'm fully confident in this at my instrument than I was then when I was writing that music. I fucking know that.
Stasia was in that same category as you guys were, because it was also like when Head Charge would lose a member, they would steal one of your guys' members.
Right.
It was either somebody from your band or somebody from Stasia, or there's like 3 or 4 bands in that next rung right below them. And it was like, yeah, you get, and it was funny because certain guys talked about this.
Yes.
Like probably guys you've never heard of, because I don't even remember their names, but they were guys that I kind of came up with in my first move. And when I got to the stage, a lot of those guys had already washed out.
Right.
But we had hung out and, talked a lot of shit. Oh, we're going to be up there someday, blah, 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 right? And a lot of the guys had noticed the same trajectory that
pattern,
I had. And some guys were like, dude, I want to get in one of those bands, because that's what you do. If you're good, you get in one of those bands,
right? And
then Head Charge will pick you next time they lose a member, and like, that's how I'm going to do it.
Yep.
And it never worked for any of them, but it did kind of make sense, because you guys, when you lost a member, had to pluck your guys from somebody else,
right?
And
then everybody,
who was it that
then everybody hated me though. That's what.
Who did you pluck from?
Nuisance.
That's what it was.
Those guys still don't like me, but I was supposed to. That's the irony. I'm supposed to take it, but everybody hates me. See how that works?
Sure.
So that's the thing that I take exception with, right? But why the fuck is that supposed to work? Like, I don't operate that way. So fuck you, right?
Didn't somebody steal Stasia's
that's
drummer?
That's the way that I look at it. Fuck everybody, okay? And I don't need you and your fucking weak ass fucking draw. If that's the way you're gonna fucking be.
Who had a drummer named Dane?
Yeah, Dane Tutors. He's my fucking homie. Yeah.
Who did he drum for? Was it Stasia?
Stasia and then Head Charge.
And then Head Charge stole him, or did he stay in Stasia?
Head Charge kind of stole him, or
He didn't do both.
Stasia broke up. They broke up. Yeah.
They basically went bankrupt, if I remember right. From what I heard is that band, and this could be totally false. I'm trying to get Tony Williams on the fucking podcast for years. He doesn't want to come on. I don't think he vibes with me, but I got nothing but love for that guy. But from what I heard through the grapevine is that band basically had to break up because of debt. Like, they spent a lot more money because back then, this is kind of how you did it too. Like, we were trying not to get on too big of a tangent.
Well, we were all bad business people,
but that's still one of the models. Like that Bobby Altoff girl who does those weird, awkward podcasts with everybody on YouTube and shit. You know who I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Murph, pull up a clip of Bobby. Like, pull up a short on YouTube, like a Bobby Altoff. It's Bobbi, and then her last name's like ALT.
Yeah,
OFF. Anyways,
I don't.
Here's the point.
I don't want to talk about other people's business, I guess. But.
She openly talks about how she's got like 30, 40 grand in credit card debt because she's funding this podcast. And that's just how it works for a lot of industries, for a lot of people who do startups. You fund it yourself. Yeah. And if you really want to do it right, a lot of times you got to go into debt.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to talk about anybody's business, but I'm just saying the timing of it, I don't think it had to do anything with them losing a drummer or anything like that. I think they lost their drummer, and then and this could be bullshit. I'd love to hear the story about this, because again, we need to be more open about talking about why bands break up, so we can also pass on that advice to the younger guys so they can stop ruining these fucking dope ass bands because some guy wants to go do a solo project. I'm not calling anybody out. If that was you, that's a coincidence. I don't know who the fuck you are. Do not send me any more fucking messages. Oh, so you called me out on your podcast? No, I did not. I don't know who the fuck.
I mean,
if
really,
I
honestly,
made that up out of the fucking.
Who gives a fuck?
Have you seen
anyways?
this? You know who the fuck I'm talking about? This is the chick I'm talking about. This Bobby Altoff shit. You don't have to play anything, but
I just who fucking cares?
She funded it all herself, and it's fine. She said she's got 30, 40 grand in fucking debt.
But that's fine. I mean, that's the American way, anyways, right?
Yeah, I'm not talking shit about it, dude. I'm just saying, like, I think that's what happened. Is I think they were trying to do it the right way, like what she's doing.
I mean, it was a hyper competitive time. I was at somebody's throat at some point in time, one way or the other.
But the point I'm trying to make is it's a business, dude. Yeah. Bands are businesses. They need to be run like businesses, and some of them fail for that. Some of them fail, like I said, because some guy gets a fucking ego and he wants to go start a solo project. Yeah, start your solo project, dude. You don't need to quit the band. You know what I mean? Like, stop.
Here's what I'll say.
Because you lose one member, Greg, and sometimes the whole chemistry of the band is off, and it's never the same.
Right.
You know, it happens all the fuck. When you have lightning in a bottle, dude, you need to. So my biggest example of this right now, who I wish was doing what I'm about to say, is when you capture lightning in a bottle, I wish they would put the pedal to the metal
Yep.
and fucking floor it. Uncle Daddy right now. Like, I think they kind of have lightning in a
Really?
bottle. Dude, they're fantastic. If
I
you've
know
seen
the
them
name's
live,
been around for a while.
dude, they're fucking. I'm not talking about Uncle Chunk. I'm talking Uncle Daddy.
Yeah, Uncle Daddy.
Uncle Daddy, dude, they're one of the best live bands in town. Now, they're a rock band, so I'm not comparing them to Reaping Asmodee or some of these more technical, fucking heavy bands. I'm not comparing.
Uncle Daddy, if you guys are listening, just the name.
They're amazing, dude.
The name doesn't do it justice. Then they're amazing. The music's amazing.
Dude,
I got to
it's
listen
amazing.
immediately.
And the name fits the aesthetic and the sound and the style and their live
I think
show.
Rusted
It's
Root
amazing.
right away. Rusted Root. Remember that band?
They're an awesome rock band.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
an awesome rock band. And I just wish, because I think they have lightning in a bottle, I wish they would fucking put the pedal to the metal and go even harder.
They've been around for a minute, haven't they?
Few years, yeah. Yeah, and honestly, they were like, they just had this nice, steady fucking trajectory. And I just watched them over a couple years. Their crowds were getting a little bit bigger. Fucking people were getting more and more interested in them.
I mean, Black Blood Diesel's not the best name either. I mean, the fucking initials are ridiculous, and I've always hated them. So it's,
You guys used to have some of the best parody names.
Yeah,
big,
I mean,
big
yeah.
fucking deal.
I fucking hated those initials. I hated them, and it's stuck with them. So I'm not saying that fucking.
I always thought it was a great band name. It's memorable. It's easy. The shortened version of it is awesome.
No,
BFD.
the merch
BFD is
sold.
fucking great. The logo was cool. Like, it was a good name. Band names are tough, bro.
It's a long time ago. I was just like, you can't take too much too seriously. Why? Right? Because nothing's perfect, and you're gonna drive yourself fucking nuts. The second you take too much too seriously, someone will fucking come at you, and that's your weakness.
Sure.
Just every time. So I try not to take too much too seriously, because it's all in the material world. It's all going to go away at some point. So I don't know. At some point in time, that band will play again when it's worth it, but it's not worth hustling and grinding and fucking getting pissed off at, a band going. It's not worth that. It's not worth it, because I did headline First Avenue, and I did play.
I've never even played First Avenue. It's
Fuck,
like
dude.
I think it's one of the only, because I always said, and that in the Fine Line. And Jeremy Blake on the podcast one night, he was like, "We played the fucking Fine Line.
That band,
what are you
here's the
talking
thing,
about?"
That band, in my mind, and
But
in
I
a
never
lot of
played
people's
First Ave main
minds,
stage.
needs to. It has a place in this music scene's history that accomplished things. Okay, fucking, and that's where it's going to stay in my mind. It's done things that is going to stay. Right. It's not fucking some shitty fucking band that's going to.
It's done things that would terrify your grandmother.
Yeah, I mean, right, exactly. It's fucking, shot crystal meth in places that fucking, people would be fucking terrified of, and that needs to stay there too. But it's got, it's got a spot, and so it needs to stay that way.
So you're saying this is the last BFD show, but here's my problem: is I feel like you're like our version of Ozzy.
No, that's what I'm not going to be. I'm going to.
This is like the 5th time you've shut this project
No,
down.
but here's the thing. This is not. I am holding myself to a higher standard than this, and from a song.
You are a new man now. It does feel a little different.
From a songwriting perspective, man.
I'll give you that.
I'm just over it. I'm over it. I've been playing fucking open wide since 1998. Okay, that's.
Yeah. It's almost 20 years.
I was fucking 20.
Yeah, and I
used a fake ID. I used a fake ID.
I see what you're saying, though.
I used a fake ID, Jared.
I see what you're saying, though, because like that
The guy
music,
was Jewish. I had a Jewish guy's fake ID from New York when I wrote that song.
That's funny.
Okay,
That's so funny.
That's a true story.
How did you get the fake ID?
Because the bass player who moved up here was Jewish, and his buddy John was also Jewish from Madison, and he was a Jewish guy that I used, and that's how I got into the bars. And that's a true story.
Where were you when you wrote that song?
In the basement over in Weeks Avenue in Minneapolis.
No shit.
And Pete Harmon from Head Charge is over there, and he sees like, well, he has a really good lyrics. It was like the 4th song we wrote. Yeah, every fucking show we played. I'm past that.
Sure.
I love. I mean, the people love the song. I have this tune we want to share. You know what I mean? I'm doing the stuff with Wally, and that's way more expansive.
Sure.
At this point, and
I see what you're saying, though. It makes sense because, like, you wrote it back in '98. That style of music is, I don't want to say dead and gone, but it has come and gone. And like the style of that music that is still legit and like popping those bands already made it big in that style.
Yes.
So like if you're going to be our age and you're going to be doing music, it should be new music. Not holding on to an old dream with old music that you don't really even identify with anymore. Because like you said, it was in 98. That's almost 20 years ago. You're a completely different man now.
How about this? If you want to hear that stuff, okay.
Is that right, though?
Yeah, it's right. And how about this? People want to hear that stuff. We'll serve them up some of that stuff. And I think I can do it better than that. You know what I mean? So we'll test it out.
Nobody wants that, dude.
No, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants more new metal.
No, it's not going to be new metal. What I'm saying is that we'll fucking serve it up heavy, and I think people are going to like it.
What do you think the new genre of metal is? Is there one, or is it still just gent?
No,
Murph, you know anything about the newest metal out there?
What I'm hearing is like a cross between fucking. You ever listen to Kubla Khan?
No.
Kubla Khan's it's like hardcore, like Knock Loose.
Can you pull us up some Kubla Khan?
Like Knock Loose, like hardcore.
That's an interesting name. Like
Kubla Khan, Texas. They named themselves that with the TX because the band from Minnesota, Kubla Khan, wouldn't change their name.
Really?
80s thrash band, yeah.
No shit.
And this hardcore band, badass fucking bands. Saw 'em at First Avenue, just fucking throw down, right?
Kubla Khan, Texas.
Yeah, Kublai, like the fucking conqueror.
Yeah, that's why I think it's an interesting name.
Yeah, fucking badass fucking band.
Not Genghis Khan,
Kubla Khan, yeah. His successor. I think his successor, yeah. So, fucking... yes, right there. There you go. Jamal.
Dude, just if you're going to do that, you don't have to do that. Just put the chat up there. You can pull chat out of that YouTube.
God bless you, Jamal.
You can explode the chat. Yeah, there you go. That's hilarious, dude.
I love that.
The real reason Emergent is over is because I thought I'd be a bigger deal on my own. I'm still waiting.
I love that.
Shout out to Jamal. I love Jamal.
Jamal, fucking A. It would be good to fucking catch up with that guy, man.
Speaking of, are you going to come do the election night podcast? You going to stop by for a little bit?
I'll stop by. Yeah,
stop by, dude.
I've sworn off fucking global politics in general in the last month. I've had several awakenings on that, and fucking.
You know what's interesting, dude? Is I officially left the DNC a while ago.
Yeah,
and I will not vote for or support the DNC.
Yep.
But my principles are still my principles. I'm not going to become a MAGA Republican, right? But like being a libertarian has got me exactly nowhere.
Right.
So I've been doing some real soul searching and thinking about this. So I'm like, I think what I have to call myself now is I think I'm a liberal Republican. Mm-hmm. So like right now I'm voting Republican. I'm with the Republicans, but I have like a lot of liberal values. They would call me a rhino, like Republican in name only.
Sure.
Which, okay.
You like Tulsi.
Yeah, a lot.
I love Tulsi. The thing
I like
is
Tulsi. I'm not racist. I'm pro-choice. You know what I mean? But I'm like...
We've been under a Unitarian...
But I'm like hardcore pro-gun.
It's been a New World Order since the fucking 90s anyways. Like, that's my perspective. It doesn't matter. It's a globalist agenda, so it doesn't matter who
The
wins.
biggest thing for me is there's two things for the left where I'm like, I'm done with you guys, is they absolutely want censorship, whether they admit it or not. And I don't even think they realize it yet. Some of them, what they're saying, I'm like, that's censorship. And they're like, no, it's not. It's different because, and I'm like, oh my God, you're fucking retarded.
Right.
And then the other one is the transitioning of children. I'm like, that's a hard line I'll never even consider crossing, and I'll die on this hill. And as long as you stand for that, you will never get my vote.
I don't understand it at all.
It's a singular issue for me.
I don't understand it at all. It's over my head, and I want to keep it that way because it's just fucking, yeah.
I don't see how my stance on the issue is an unreasonable
It's not.
take.
It's not. I don't understand how we got here at all, and that's that, and we agree on that. It's just fucking outer limits. It's like fucking Phantom Matrix shit. Honestly.
It's bizarre.
No,
it's a weird
bizarre.
place we're in.
It's bizarre. So that's...
But yeah, you should stop by for the election night podcast.
No, I totally will. It all goes back into, I had some revelations of like anything that contributes to me being a negative on the negative scale of polarity, right? I'm just not going to bite the bait on. And politics fell squarely in that. And I started to realize the answer's right in front of my face. Everything's flipped. Everything's inverted. And if you really want the answers to things, just look at the fucking obvious answer. Like, they're so trying to trick you. People don't want... You ever seen the movie The Prestige? The magic movie? The illusion movie?
I think I did back in the day. Yeah, it's got two main actors in it, right? And they go back and forth.
Yep, Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Michael Caine is the narrator kind of guy.
Michael Caine.
He's like, people go to the magic show, but they don't want to find the trick because they want to be fooled, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, people want to be fooled,
right?
But if you really look for the fucking trick, you'll find it. Okay,
Sure.
So I started doing that with politics, with everything. You'll find the motherfucking secret. It's right there in front of your fucking face.
Right.
Everything is flipped, and they almost do it to laugh at us.
Sure.
Because people think they're so smart.
Right.
Okay, that's the trick. People think they're so smart and they're so fucking arrogant, and because they walk right into the trap, anybody can laugh at them. If you know what I mean, that's what's so funny about it. Is they are the joke. The people that think they're so smart. Okay, I don't think I'm so smart. I know I'm not that smart. Okay, but that's also the irony behind it is they're the ones that think that they're the smart ones, and they're the ones that are the joke.
Yeah.
Right? Because the negative energy is what's being harnessed.
Sure.
That's what's making everything go. If nobody paid attention to anything, they wouldn't have any power. The grid wouldn't have any power. The people in power wouldn't have any power. If nobody showed up to the booth, they wouldn't have any fucking power. Simple concept. But it will never happen, right? It's all of this stuff that's like, but people look at, oh, you're fucking crazy. You believe in fucking aliens. Well, okay, whatever. It's not that crazy of a concept. But, go ahead and continue to think that the Democratic Party is going to save you. And racism exists everywhere with everyone because that's what fucking schools tell you. Okay?
Right.
It's fucking crazy. And have your, fourth grader, have a transitional surgery. But God forbid I think that the reptilians live in the ground. That's fucking crazy.
You've been down some rabbit holes recently, dude. What's your favorite conspiracy you've stumbled on recently?
Oh, my favorite one? Dude, this is I don't know if it's my favorite one, but this is a fucking crazy one. So the whole Phantom Matrix one, this goes into back when the Sumerians, right? Sumerian time. So the theory, the idea is that the planet's been over alien invasion since Sumerian times, right? And it's basically all boiled down to quantum mechanics, which is what they're kind of figuring out right now, and with mathematics, right? The problem with the grid that's happening right now, and it's collapsing, is that at that time when the Egyptians, at the time of the Egyptian Sumerians, they came in, basically tunneled out, right? The Egyptian gods tunneled out into the middle of the earth, a black fucking cube, a black rock in the center of the earth, replacing the original. And they're trying to reprogram what usually is base 12 math of the fucking universe into base 10 math. And you can see that in the Kabbalah, which is a base 10 tree of life. The base 12 tree of life is what shows up before that. That is the proof of it. And you can see it in the mathematics of the universal grid breaking down. And it's proving itself every day with inconsistencies in the universe from before and to now. And so the shit that's occurring, the people that study it equate it supposedly out into the universe, that there are supposedly these 3 quantum unseeable red cubes on this trident that are being run by the Egyptian gods out in the fucking solar system, all running quantum computers that run Phantom Matrix's fucking
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I have no idea what the fuck you just said. Bro.
So, okay, imagine, if you will, the movie The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
You see things in 3D.
Sure.
I see things in 3D.
Sure.
100 feet away, 200 feet away, 500 yards away. You don't know if what you're seeing is fucking real or not. It's just something you're seeing. Well, who's to say that the fucking TV post or the light post isn't projecting something, that's just an image, right? Theoretically speaking, some high-powered quantum computer could be projecting everything that we're looking at, okay? And this could have been going on from high-powered shit out of our comprehension, right? That's the theory. We're seeing AI right now, right in front of our face. That is the theory. And so these are the rabbit holes that I'm not saying I believe this shit. But what I'm saying is that all of the stuff that is being shown to us now with AI is all showing up in the quantum field.
Interesting.
It's fucking wild. It's just wild rabbit hole shit that's like, I don't trust anything to do with the technological movement.
Huh.
Like nothing at all. I used to love Elon Musk. Now I damn near think he's the Antichrist, and I just don't. It's not. Yeah, it's a total flip on that one.
Well, he thinks we're in a simulation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I don't believe that there's.
That
fucking
sounds like what you described, though.
Well, I don't think there's
just a
red cubes out
simulation.
in the. I just think it's an interesting thing, but I think it's kind of crazy. But it had me fucked up for about a couple 3 weeks. I'm not gonna lie, you know.
Yeah, I've gone down those rabbit holes a few different times, man. They're fun.
It ain't healthy.
Some of them are fun.
It's not healthy. It's like, oh fuck, because it's like the Black Pope. I mean, that's fucked up. The Pope,
what?
the Black Pope. The Pope. What he talks from looks like a fucking lizard. You seen that?
No.
You haven't seen that?
No. Can you pull this up? What's the search?
Search Pope. What Pope talks from Vatican? And Pope.
What is it,
serpent,
like a puppet you're saying?
No, his platform that he talks from, his stage.
Oh,
Pope
okay.
Stage Serpent Vatican. Search
Okay.
that, and it looks like the fucking mouth of a lizard.
Really?
Check it out. Yeah, the whole thing is built that way. Check it
Well,
out.
I do believe that the Catholic Church is a satanic church. It's
Yeah.
a giant satanic church.
Yeah, so
And people think I'm crazy for believing that.
No,
But I'm
you're
like,
not.
listen, man, according to the Christian religion, like praying to false idols, worshiping false idols, all that shit. And bro, the amount of saints.
yeah, Catholicism.
That they have
I was
and,
raised
like-
Catholic. Catholicism is in itself a subsect.
It's a cult.
It's a satanic.
Even if it's
subset.
not satanic, it's definitely a cult.
I believe it's a satanic subset.
Dude, that's the one that drives me the craziest about the left right now is like the projecting that they do. So I've noticed this recently. Yeah, the audio for that is coming through the TV. You got to go into the windows and pick the Scarlet for that audio output. But anyways, whatever they happen to be accusing the right of, that's what they are currently doing. So for example, and this is from petty things that are trite
Right.
to serious things.
Right.
For example, here's a petty example. They say about JD Vance and the right, they're like, they're just weird. Like, bro, the left is fucking way more weird. The right is just super cheesy and normal. Like they're boring, they're fucking average, they're cheesy and corny.
Yeah.
But you're not going to say they're fucking weird. No,
Yeah.
they're normal people. Super boring, super average. The left is who's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Now, something way more serious is they're trying to accuse Trump right now. They're throwing this thing out there all of a sudden. They're like, oh, he has dementia. Biden literally has dementia.
Right,
and he
right.
has for probably 2 years.
Well, not to mention the fact that they embraced Dick Cheney. I mean, that's also pretty serious. Dick Cheney's a warmonger. I think Dick Cheney is a lizard. Okay,
Dude,
I'll say it. I think that he is a fucking reptilian.
There's more things, though, dude. There's more things. Like
that you don't
whatever
embrace
they,
Dick Cheney.
Whatever they accuse the right of doing, like I've found, like that's what you actually do. That's what
The movie Veep about Dick Cheney was made by the left.
Here's another one. Here's another one. They accuse Donald Trump of denying the election. Hillary Clinton still denies the 2016 election. You see what I'm saying? So it's it's literal.
Yep.
It's not even a metaphor.
No,
I'm saying
I gotcha.
it's literal projection, like a cheating spouse. Like whatever they and this is one of the things that started to turn me.
Yep.
This is one of the things that started to make me go, wait a minute, because I had been supporting the left for a long time.
Right.
And I'm not even really a lefty, but I just have liberal values and shit. And my liberal values are not like progressive values. They're like super moderate. Like I'm pro-gun, I'm pro-choice. These are liberal policies.
Right.
Like they're not left-wing. They're not...
You're a moderate.
I knew about the hypocrisy of some of the people in our party. And then when they started doing those exact same things,
we also live here. This is also fucking. It maximizes.
It was Elon Omar. It started with Elon Omar accusing somebody of being a fearmongerer, and I was like, "That's literally what you do." And that was the first one, and dude. And then it just started. Boom.
This
boom,
place is
boom,
way
boom.
out of control.
It's
This place
so
is way out of
crazy,
control.
dude.
This
It's
place
so
is way
crazy.
out of control. I'm not from here. This place is way out of control.
Chicago's bad too, where you are from.
No, but here's the thing: Chicago is bad, but it's way more real. It's way more real. It's way more urban, and it's way more fast paced. It's not idealized. It's not idealized. People aren't all fucking. There's serpent. That's what he speaks from in the middle. Those are the you see.
Oh, and when you put on the what is that called? A parabolic lens or whatever
Well,
that curves
that's his head.
I mean, it's definitely curved. That looks like a serpent in the background.
That is, yeah. It's all fucked up.
Oh, it's a face. I see it.
So-
but it looks like a fucking...
Here's the difference between Chicago and here. Okay?
Oh, that's very fucking... Yeah, that's pretty satanic looking, dude.
Between Chicago and here, Chicago...
That's pretty satanic, dude.
People want to help people.
See, and I'm with you, dude. This imagery shit, this does matter.
Well, look at the black and red with the guys around it.
Yeah, he looks like Darth Vader.
Evil as fuck.
Or not Darth Vader. He looks like Emperor Palpatine.
There's no need for that.
Yeah,
This is church.
That shit looks super evil,
That's the
dude.
Pope.
That looks super evil. I wonder if that's a doctored photo.
That's a snake.
It does kind of look like a snake.
That's the
like a serpent.
that's the hall of the Pope.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah, that's super, super freaky, dude.
That's a disrespect to Christ right there. That's the only way I see it.
So you did find God now? You're officially a Christian?
Well, I've always been a Christian. I was confirmed Catholic. So, I mean, when I went back into rehab this last time, I mean, I've always believed in God, and it's what has kept me from, like, completely falling off the deep end. When I went back in this last time is when it really hit. Like, before I went in, something told me, if you don't fucking figure it out this time, like, you're not going to see 50. And that voice still talks to me, right? This time, it's just different. I'm maturing and I'm older, and I've just come full circle back home. My mom is extremely devout. It's just where I'm supposed to be. And it all makes sense. It's my heart is where it's supposed to be. And I'm not a child of the fucking darkness. That's not where I am. And I see things very, very clearly when it comes to the intentions of humanity. That's the best way I can say it. And I always have. And I can see how things are going to be when my eyes are clear. It's just the way it's been. And I've always been able to do what I want to do in life. And I think you've been able to see it to a degree when my eyes are clear, right? People take that as me being a certain way, and maybe I take it too far, whatever. But it is what it is. I absolutely believe in God. And at this point, I'm fully confident in the fact of being able to state it without being insecure about it, I suppose, right? And taking it further, the Jesus piece of it, it's not anything to be... We live in a society where there is no reason for that man, a belief in that person, and the ways... You actually were the person that resonated about a year ago. You're like, that's the one person, the teachings of Christ, you can't go wrong in it. You had said it over here.
Yeah.
And it stuck with me. And that stuck with me. And I was like, that motherfucker's absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I went back to it. I'm like, why in this society is that man constantly demonized?
It's because of things that people do in his name.
Yeah.
And
but it's just not cool.
But here's what really pisses me off though is the hypocrisy again of people who go you say something, right? You say something crazy like those fucking Bible thumpers on the corner with the megaphone saying something about gay people going to hell or something, right? And now those people are horrible people, and fuck those people, right? Because they're saying something bad in the name of Jesus, right?
Right.
But a terrorist can blow himself up in the name of Muhammad,
right.
And how dare you extrapolate that to all Muslims? Not all Muslims
right.
are like that, you fucking bigot. That's the problem I have.
Right.
It's not even an actual intolerance to religion.
Sure.
It's not an actual intolerance to the bigotry, right? Because one of those two religions is truly bigoted, and one of them is just kind of like stupid.
Well, one
right?
of them, if you go down the rabbit hole, one of them you could make a case for was placed here as a false god with the Black Rock, which would be Islam.
Sure,
okay,
yep.
Now I'm not saying that I believe that or I don't, but that is a school of thought. Now, here's I guess from a simplistic way of putting it.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't judge who people are going to be with.
If you're
right?
going hardcore, truly like the teachings of Christ and the actual fundamentals of Christianity, any other version of worshiping God through Christ, anything other than that, is a version of Satanism.
Right.
Which would mean Catholicism, Islam, Buddhism gets a pass because technically, no one fucking knows this, but technically Buddhism is not a religion.
Right. But it's an idol. It's an idol.
I don't give a shit what the government classifies Buddhism as. It is not a religion. They do not worship a god or a deity.
But Buddha, though.
No, that's just a...
Buddha's a reincarnated deity.
It's really not, though. So Buddha is really just an idea, right? It's just a silly character. It really means nothing. It's nothing. Buddhism is literally just seeking enlightenment. It's a path to enlightenment, specifically through the act of suffering via detaching yourself from worldly possessions and temptations, right? That's what Buddhism actually is. We treat it like a religion. We legally classify it as a religion because honestly, in many ways, it's better than almost every single religion, including Christianity. But they do not strictly fit the definition of because they don't worship Buddha. It's not really
when it
a
comes
thing.
down to it, it's the Christ.
Buddha's like a something you sell merch with.
Right. It's the Christ consciousness.
It's like a cross.
It is the loving people. it is the loving people. It is the concept of love and non-judgment. Okay, I'm not here to judge people. I'm here to care for the concept of life in all forms, right? And to do the best I can, and to create and to be the positive on the ionosphere, positive to the to the neutral charge. That's it. Anything other than that is my creator's role. That's it.
Sure.
Okay. I love the people in my orbit. If you are going here to judge me, go ahead. I am totally comfortable with where I'm at this point, right? And if I'm not, then I have to do work on myself, okay? For you, for him, anybody that I come into contact with, that is my job, right? And if I don't, that's my ego taking over, right?
Sure.
So that's the place that I'm at. And Christ just so happens to be where I center myself with. Now, maybe that's my upbringing, whatever, could be a lot of things. I've come to the point to where I'm not insecure in that anymore. I'm just not, right? We live in a civilization, Western civilization, to where he's been demonized. And whatever the reasons are, I don't know, out of my pay grade. I don't care. I don't think it matters at this point. I think that we are at the 0 hour, and we're going to fucking see pretty soon what the results are of that. You know,
what do you think of the possibility that all the religion stuff, including Jesus, is aliens?
Oh, I think that Luciferianism and aliens both exist. I think they both exist.
But what if, and just hear me out, what if Jesus literally is an alien with telekinesis and advanced fucking abilities that we can't even comprehend?
Yeah.
And God is whoever created them.
Yeah, I mean, it's distinctly possible.
You know?
I mean,
like flaming chariot from the sky. Sounds an awful lot like a UFO.
What the fuck I have no fucking clue, you know? I have no idea.
I'm saying when you see things on re-entry, you know, when you see a space shuttle come in from re-entry, looks a lot like a flaming chariot from the sky.
Here's what I'll say, Jared. I have seen some fucking shit at this point in life.
You know, in like Ezekiel, in the book of Ezekiel, when he's taken from earth and he goes up to heaven and he describes the earth, and people are so dumb, they say this. This is what they say. I was taken away from earth to heaven, to the heavens is what it actually says, and I was shown earth.
Yeah.
And it's a disc fixed upon two pillars.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't know what a sphere is and you don't have a word for a sphere and you see a a ball, right?
Yeah.
You don't have another word for that. Like the sun looks like a disc. The moon looks like a disc. That's the word you have for something that's round.
Right.
Right? You wouldn't say it's a wheel because a wheel has spokes.
Right.
Right? If they even had the fucking wheel when Ezekiel was around. Right? So there's a lack of words, right? And the two things that are fixed, like pillars, people go, that's why the earth is flat. Right? Going back to the conspiracy thing, they go, that's why the world's flat, because it says it in the Bible. I go, dude, they're describing a globe, bro.
Not to
like, have you ever looked at a globe?
Who's to say that the Bible's not fucking...
But what are the two pillars on a globe? Those are the poles. That's where the fucking
Right.
thing spins. He was shown a globe. Like, it's, to me, it's super fucking obvious. If it's true, if any of it's true, if that specific thing is true, like, he was shown the fucking globe,
Right.
dude.
The
So
Bible's
how many
chopped
other
up-
things, my point is, how many other things, right, did they lack? So, for example, if you were to tell me about consciousness and I would try to describe it to you, I would use words like download and fucking, like, how would you even describe wireless internet to anybody?
You wouldn't. You
Right.
wouldn't. And the
Right.
fucking
And
the
same
ruins
thing
of
with
the ruins of the civilizations look like microchips. It all looks the same.
the lack of language, though, because people like Rogan and everybody else talks about, like, oh, and imagine it being translated in over thousands of years. And I used to have the, like, kind of telephone game hypothesis, but now what I'm getting to more, and this really came to me in a mushroom trip when I was trying to talk to God. I took a lot of mushrooms. I took like 7 grams of mushrooms.
Yeah.
I do it like once a year. I'll take like 7 grams of mushrooms and
Good
fucking
Lord, man.
Yeah, dude. It's
What does that do to you?
it's not fun. It's
No,
not fun. It's
no.
like, but that's kind of the point. That's kind of the point, right? Like I kind of like you said earlier, I'm trying to do some work too, and basically
I
what
think
came-
I ate, then that'll fucking make me cry under the covers. Holy fuck!
so my favorite dose is 5 grams. When I'm trying to talk to God, I do 7. But when I was in one of these mushroom trips, this is what came to me. It's the lack of evolved language, right? So you think about, and technology, like the irony is, in order for us to understand God and how this whole thing happened, they say technology is the devil. Well, what technology actually is in this mushroom trip, what it came to me is it's the roadmap to understanding God, because we couldn't even develop the language and the words to describe the universe properly until we have all kinds of shit. Like, and
Right.
now we're talking about quantum computing and fucking.
check this
You
out.
see what I'm
Check
saying?
this out.
And,
So-
I still think our vocabulary for describing these things is still in its infancy.
Check this out. This will
infancy?
trip you up.
What is
So
this? Oh,
the-
he's tripping balls.
When God tells Noah the measurements for the ark, right?
Yeah, that's a trip.
He talks about it in cubits.
Yep.
Well, measurements for quantum computing. Recently,
call them qubits.
We call them qubits, and it's a recent term that was just kind of pulled out of thin air. I was like, "What the fuck?"
No, it's not. It's not pulled
you're-
out of thin air.
A
It's
dude. Like, I mean, I could be wrong, but
it's not pulled out of thin air. It's based on because everything else in computing is a bit, right? A bit is 1.
Here, let me just
And
look
so
this
we-
up so I know I'm not crazy.
But listen. So in computers, right, a bit is 1,
Yeah.
right? And we measure everything in basically on and off, right? So like 8-bit, your old regular Nintendo, 8-bit is 8 sequences of 1s and 0s in a single chunk of information to create a bigger a picture or something else, right?
Read the etymology.
Of what? A qubit?
Yeah, just the etymology, where it came from.
The coining of the term qubit is attributed to Benjamin Shoemaker, and we should have this up there. Yeah. In the acknowledgments of his 1995 paper, Schumacher states that the term qubit was created in jest during a conversation with William Wooders.
That's what I'm saying. He pulled it out of thin air.
Well,
The term. But it comes from the Bible, which is fucking
maybe.
wild.
Ironically, here's the thing: to me, it doesn't seem random because we already use the word bit,
Sure.
and you're just putting the shortened version of quantum in front of it.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So
gotcha.
it looks it to me it looks like a natural evolution.
So
and it's I don't know. Maybe I'm talking shit. Maybe I'm talking shit.
Here's here's what I'm getting
I don't
at.
fucking even know what my point was.
You're not talking shit. Here's maybe we'll see if this connects the dots and this makes sense because I might not be making sense. It's just another example of things coming full circle in a weird way after a long period of time.
Sure.
Right?
Fair.
And life in the spiritual or esoteric realms, okay, have a weird fucking way of doing that.
So, for example, to get back to music, because I love using music analogies or sports analogies, here's a perfect analogy of what you're talking about. Things coming full circle, and it sometimes it's quick, sometimes it takes a long time. The music industry, when it first started off, you didn't make any money off your fucking records.
Yep.
You basically, the music was free. It went on the radio. Everything was free, so you could promote your shows to get paid at shows.
Yes.
And then somewhere in the 70s, right, that got flipped. And then into the 80s, it really got flipped with like fucking somewhere between. We just had this conversation on the podcast recently. It was somewhere between Led Zeppelin and Van Halen Between that, and there might be one more band in there I'm forgetting about, the industry flipped and bands started getting paid huge money for these record deals and getting paid on their record sales as well. And then they made less money on their shows. The shows were to promote the album sales, right?
Probably MTV era.
And then now we've gone full circle back to the original music industry, which is there's no money in music. The money is in the shows, which is why every band you go see live now, including Metallica, all the way down to a local band, ticket prices are way more expensive because 100% of that band's revenue is based on concert tickets and merch sales.
Sure.
Like almost zero money. Virtually zero. I don't even think it's 1% now.
Well,
I think it's less than 1% of a band's income is off streaming.
If you really want to go down a rabbit hole with the whole music thing, right? Like
I'm just saying that's one example of everything comes full circle.
Yeah, music, right, is music is very threatening to people in power, right? And so
okay, they did have wheels. Okay, they did have wheels, and they had gyroscopes. Okay. Okay.
Music's,
good call. Good call.
Music's
good call.
very threatening to the people in power, right? So if you're good at it and you're getting through,
thank you, Tempest.
you're getting through to people. The people in power, the people at the top of the power structure and the media, they're going to want to cheapen that, right? Bring in glitz, glamour, or toxic messaging, right? To affect people, confuse things, right? Get the artists out. They used to kill people potentially with drug overdoses. Then they realized Napster could just get the talented artists out, right? They don't fucking prosecute people for stealing, but they do everywhere else, right? So it's this constant convoluting of the artist pool, right? Because they don't want music is the purest form of communication to get through to the soul.
Sure.
Right? It does something. We are electromagnetic beings, and sound and light gets through to the soul, right? And can communicate to people in a way that other things just fucking can't. And the musician, when it all gets together and a song fucking hits, right? It does things, and if you really, really dedicate your fucking life to it, you know it. I know it.
Well, that's another one that's come full circle is like resonant frequencies. Like
right.
The Buddhists knew about resonant frequencies. The ancient Jews, the ancient Egyptians, they all knew about resonant frequencies. Even the hippies taking mushrooms talked about vibes, vibrations, right? There's songs, good vibrations, right? Talking about, this guy's got bad vibes. And science now is proving that every single thing in the universe is vibrating at a resonant frequency.
Yes. So
that's not a joke. That's not hyperbole. That's literally true.
So
they were all right.
Goes back to why
they were all right the whole time.
Goes back to why Black Veil Diesel needs to go, on the shelf, and it goes to why music is dangerous. And
you're not resonating at that frequency anymore.
Correct. And I'm better than that, and people are better than that, and there's a better communication, and we need to rise all of it, right? And if you're not looking at it that way, you're cheapening the human experience, and we are all better than that, right? The system is playing us. Okay, we need to look at it that way. Okay, our teachers would want that. Okay, and if you're not being taught that, you're a bad teacher. Okay, these are the things that I'm beginning to see as a human fucking being. Okay, if you don't want to hear it, I'm not trying to preach to anybody, but it just is what it is. This is my path, right? And you're my buddy, and we're here talking about it. This is what I'm doing, and so to me, it makes a lot of sense, and it's just a good existence. I'm not out to hurt anybody at all, right? But a lot of people haven't been out to hurt anybody, and you're just demonized, right?
Yeah.
In my life, I've done horrible, horrible things, and people have loved being around me, too. So that's kind of the dichotomy.
That's being surrounded by the wrong people, right?
Well, it's also life, too.
It's like one of those things where, and I don't really know this, I don't really experience this because I've never had a real drug or alcohol problem, but I hear this from guys like you. I don't know if I've heard this from you, but I've heard I've heard this from guys like you that had some sort of serious, whether it's one or multiple substances, they go sober and an entire chunk of their life stops calling. Like they only hang out to party, and as soon as you go sober and start doing something good for yourself, all those people just disappear.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, what it is you just realize very quickly, people only want things from you when you're beneficial to them, is what it is. It's a cold reality, and you got to just come to terms with that because that's just the way that it is, right? That goes kind of part and part, not to go to politics, but that's a washing away of the liberal mentality, right? Get over it. It's not all fucking milk and cookies, right?
Sure.
People aren't that way, right? That's getting sold that as a bill of goods. That's not how life works, right?
Well, and there's very few true selfless acts anyways. So it's one of those things, like the only thing I could ever think of when somebody asks, is there any selfless acts? The only thing I could think of is like when you put an injured animal out of its misery, like it's definitely going to die and you don't want to let it sit there and suffer. So you put it out of its misery. If you've ever done that, it does not feel good.
No.
Like it's not even a relief to you. There's no positive experience you get out of that unless you're a fucking weirdo, right? So that's the only selfless act I could possibly think of.
It's death, and it's still death.
Right. Right. So that's the point, is I'm not getting anything out of that, but it's still the right thing to do. You know what I mean?
And you don't go tell everybody, which is what typically people do, is tell everybody.
That's what I'm getting at, is like usually even helping people and doing nice things, you can say that's still somewhat selfish because a lot of times people do things for other people because it makes them feel good.
Right. Or give them an excuse to talk shit about the other side.
And I'm not doing that to diminish people who do good things for other people, but again, it just needs to be admitted, like,
right,
you're doing this nice thing because it makes you feel good, not because you're trying to just do this other thing.
It's like a perspective thing.
So but I think you're right, and when people get that concept, not through their head, that's a shitty way to say it, but when they get that like understood truly and they're like, oh, okay, they can realize, oh yeah, I only hit this person up when I need something. Oh, maybe I should just reach out to fucking just
It's finding
hang out,
peace.
you know?
It's finding internal peace. That's what it is because I haven't had it. And that's all that it is I'm trying to find peace just like everybody else, right? I'm a fucking drug addict, okay? I'm trying to raise a kid. I have custody of my kid. He's in high school. Like, these are big deals, okay? It's a big deal. And
they're critical years for him too.
It's huge. He's in fucking high school.
To see you on the right path.
He's in high school, and I also have a stepson, okay, that doesn't have a dad, okay? Like, this is, in the real world, this is like big shit for a dad to do, right? So, yes, I'm going to pat myself on the back for this. This is shit that you got to do deep dives on, right? This is a hard world to be raising a fucking man in, right? So you got to set a good example, and every day I could be fucking up.
Yeah, I feel like Kate and I are trying to have kids right now, and we got some good news. So she's not pregnant. I'm not saying she's pregnant, but we got some good news on that front. So
good.
My point is like I have fears about raising a son because in this world, I feel like there's two very, very obvious paths for most dudes, and they're wide and easy. On one side, it's really easy to become a complete toxic douchebag, like a gym bro, backwards hat, fucking oversized truck, just a true
so many ways,
just a troglodyte, just a fuck. I think that's the right word. Murph, look that up for me. What's a troglodyte?
I've been a troglodyte in so many different ways. Just a douchebag.
I think I said the wrong word. I don't think I used the right word.
I've been a douchebag.
Just a real fucking gym bro.
I've been a douchebag in so many different ways, probably recently too.
The other path that's equally opposite but equally traversed for young men nowadays. A person who lived in a cave, a hermit. Yeah, that's not what I was thinking. Oh, yeah. Somebody who's deliberately ignorant. Yeah, okay. I guess I did kind of.
I think troglodytes like lived underground after.
Yeah, it says right there. It says a person who lived in a cave, a hermit. But then there's that other one, a person who's regarded as being deliberately ignorant. That's how I've heard it used. Like a fucking oh, fuck you.
Right.
Like somebody who just can't be reasoned with. Like he's just deciding to be uneducated and unaware because he's a fucking troglodyte.
Right.
No, I did use that word, right? Yeah, go back to your fucking cave.
Right.
Work out some more, you fucking trog. Yeah, I did use that word, right? Okay. Yeah, they're fucking, all they do is fucking work out and fucking talk shit on the internet because they're it's too easy to become that guy. The other thing it's way too fucking easy to become as a young man is a fucking pussy, bro.
Well, right.
A straight up pussy, dude. But to become like a non-toxic male,
Just a good person.
just a good dude, but like a man, somebody who's going to be like respected.
Right.
Like, I'm going to feel safe if you date my daughter. I'm going to feel safe if you're the father of my grandkids. That kind of dude.
Yeah.
Not a pussy. Where if somebody bullies him, he gets completely fucking coward.
Right.
Fuck that, dude.
Well,
no, man.
But here's the thing, though.
Or
man.
if a war breaks out, like.
Very true, but here's
a good draftable American.
Right. I want a red-blooded American that fucking knows about the original Red Dawn.
Go fucking lose your leg like a real man.
Yeah, right. Loves Jennifer Grey. But so, you ever notice though when you look? I agree with all of that, right? You need to fucking be able to stick up for yourself.
The road to becoming what we're talking about, I think, is very narrow and hard to walk, and you need good role models to show you how to do it. And that's what ultimately you're talking about, is being that good role model for your kid that's in high school, for this step kid. Yeah. And that's kind of like where I'm headed down to, is like, okay, soften the edges a little bit, just get my shit together where people respect me more, so I feel respected more, because that'll help my ego, like not feeling unrespected. Well, is not a good place to be.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's not.
And it's hard to feel respected when you don't have your shit together, though, is what I'm getting.
Putting up a bullshit doesn't feel good, and then realizing the people that are giving you the bullshit is cutting them out. It's a whole bunch of shit.
Yep, you got to get all of it, ducks in a row, man.
Get all of it together. It's getting all of you're exactly right, man. It's a lot of stuff. Being a solidly good person with a pure heart is numero fucking uno.
Yeah.
Numero motherfucking uno. Because at the end of the day, there's not many people who are going to want to fucking inflict harm on a truly good person. When you look them in the fucking eye. There aren't really truly, purely evil people we run into on the road on a daily motherfucking basis that will actually want to inflict harm on really. I don't see them.
Sure.
There's lunatics out there, but if you're making decent decisions, you're not going to fucking run into them.
Right.
So,
That's true, though. That's super true. Like
if you stick and move on a daily basis the right way, like a fucking smooth motherfucker, you're not
the people who have all the drama in their life, they surround themselves with like people who don't have their shit together.
They get off on them.
It's crazy, dude. Like get better friends and you'll stop being fucked over.
Right.
Get better friends and you'll stop being let down, you
right.
know. And if you have to go at it alone for a while, trust me, it's the better road.
Right.
Like, you're going to become a better person, a stronger person. You're going to
right.
choose your friends more wisely and fucking
write a new song. Have something positive to talk about, so you don't talk about shit.
Yeah.
So you don't sow the I've sowed so much discontent in my life about so many other shit, and guess what? I was probably on drugs. It was probably about some bullshit, and it probably went down a ton of rabbit holes about band drama, some this, some that, and probably had a ton of good sex that was probably bad about some shit, and it probably went on for 6 months, and it's toxic.
Of course.
You already know the story.
Pull that mic over this way. Yeah, there you go.
It's all bad.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you, dude.
I don't know. It's all.
So speaking of being positive, so you're turning this new chapter. You want to start making some new shit.
Yes.
You got a new thing you're doing.
Yes. So a couple new things. So getting away from the metal world.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. So we'll get back to that. The metal is going to still be going.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you don't do it, but it's just like doing something that's not metal, dude. It is one of the most musically enriching things you could possibly do.
Right. So basically,
if you've only done metal,
basically Black Float will be rebranded as a new band with the guys that I have, right? And we'll get back to that. But Wally Joseph from Skywind, he and I are diving into a project together. I've been fucking around with some solo stuff over the past year or so, and we're just diving in. Started with a song last week that's fucking coming out super fucking good, and I'm back in there tomorrow to finish it off with him, and then start a second one. Yeah, I've worked with him for fucking years. Skywind, we played a ton of shows with him. He's a super fucking good friend of mine, and I have so much fucking respect for him as a singer and as a creative force. The dude has an impeccable sense of fucking melody and harmony as just a singer-songwriter. We've always worked really well together.
Right.
And it's something about when you have played a ton of shows and studied each other. The guy already knows how I work, right?
Sure.
So moving forward, it's going to be. I'm excited to hear what you think about it. It's a total departure, from what I shouldn't say a total departure. It's real kind of fever dreamy, real mellow, but it's kind of Lynchian. This first one's got a real Celtic vibe to it, Game of Thrones-ish type of thing. But I'm a big Massive Attack fan, big Portishead fan, and big into that.
So is there like even guitars?
Oh, yeah. There's guitars. So I write everything on acoustic.
Oh, okay.
And which is how I would bring a lot of stuff into the Diesel back in the day when we wrote Chaos Saves, and then even some of the later stuff, Trained Professional, all that older stuff. And then the guys would flesh it out, right, on their instrumentation. And so what I do here is I bring the whole song with the lyrics over to him, and then he fleshes out on the instrumentation, just like what he did here. So that's effectively what happened. And so the song structure all done, chord progression done, lyrics all done, first layer of vocals done. I got to do the harmonies, and then he's just doing all of the multi-layered instrumentation, the drum programming.
Dope. What's it like writing two different styles of music for two different bands? I'm in two bands, but I only write music for one.
It's, you know what? This is a good separation because what it's going to do is, how I'm kind of envisioning it is, Dennis has been writing the riffs. Those guys will write the music.
No. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm dumb. I'm fucking so dumb.
No. You're good. So for the metal project, those guys I'll write the lyrics on top of their music. And then so for that effect.
Right, but it's basically, like you said, it's just rebranded at BFD sort of, right?
Yep,
So so not a lot of the chemistry will change there, but the style is going to be drastically different than what you do
right
in this other project. So
what happened?
How is it doing two different styles of music? Like, does your brain, are you in a mood in a day? You're like, I'm in this mood, so I'm going to write this music, or do you have to divide it, or do you dedicate time where you're like, I need to write these lyrics for this BFD song today, so I'm just going to sit down and do it? Or how does that work?
So back to the concept of spirituality, right? Like the Tao, right? The fucking yin yang, sure. How it all exists at the same time.
Dude, while you're talking about that, Murph, pull up the quantum particles entangling that looks like a yin yang. So put quantum yin yang or some shit like that. All right, keep talking.
That's effectively what it is. It's all going on at the same time. It's all me, right? And so someday I'll write, be like, wow. But whatever's coming out of the emotional well on that day is that day. It's just some days I have White Crosses practice. That's the name of that band. Some days I'll have Oversoul. That's me and Wally, right? That's just more of a 21 Pilots style writing, me and him, two guys, right? And then the other's 4-piece.
Two guys, one cup.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that. So that's two quantum entangled particles.
Yeah.
What are the odds that looks like a yin yang? Is that not? Is that? It is technically
like a fucking Led Zeppelin cover.
It is technically a reconstruction. It says it right there.
Doesn't it look like the Zoso Led Zeppelin album?
It's a reconstruction of a holographic image of two entangled photons. Dude, bro, how did they know what that looked like back then? You got to take about 7 grams of mushrooms in order to fucking figure that out, dude. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys, dude.
I'm going to take your word for that.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So when they figured out yin yang, and I have my podcast, this is why you need to listen to me, you guys, when I talk. Okay? This is why. I've now proven that I am starting a new religion.
But we're just going to call you Jared Ron Hubbard.
Oh, that's fucking pretty good, dude. That's a good one.
So that's
I already have Jared Lee Roth. Now I have Jared Ron Hubbard.
So the interesting thing is that I was never a metal singer. Like when I moved up here, it was in a band that was way more chill, and I just like heavier music. So Benji...
Well, let's play this song before we get too far down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Let's play the song that we've been alluding to. So you brought one.
Yep.
All right, Force Main. Yep. Oh, beautiful. All right, let's go guest audio. What's the name of this song? I got to piss while this plays, too.
So it's called Pawns Beyond the Ice, in parentheses. Beyond the Ice was the original name of it, but it's called Pawns.
Pawns?
Pawns, yep. Like
Pawns.
chessboard. Pawns, like
Pawns.
a chessboard. Yep.
Pawns.
Pawns.
Like Ponzi scheme?
Pawns, like a chessboard pawns.
Pawns beyond the ice?
Pawns, and then in parentheses, beyond the ice.
Beyond the ice.
Yep.
What's it about?
It's about
Butt stuff.
being placed down into a board on a chessboard.
Grow
right?
up, Greg.
We're all fucking here, right? It's about having something up your butt.
What is it about? Sorry.
No, it's about the human race being used as pawns.
Okay.
And I was in a fucking. We're talking about rabbit holes for a couple weeks. I was in an ice wall. I was in the
flat Earth ice wall
flat
one?
earther, and then it evolved into we're all pawns. The political bullshit. You know,
Sure.
I'm not. Yeah. So
The Earth is verifiably round. For the record, I just want to
Yeah.
get that out there.
I
The
just-
Earth is verifiably round. It is not something
I'm more
that
on
we
the hollow.
don't know.
I'm more on the hollow. There's things in the earth than there's things living in the earth.
Doubtful, but maybe.
And there's
But
a black
maybe.
rock that.
Dude, my favorite one is the fucking. We'll talk about this when we get back. Murph, pull this up. Don't throw it on screen, but pull this up. So this is how we'll get back into this. Pull up. I think it's called Iron Sky.
I've
And
never heard of this one.
it's a movie, and it's about. I swear to God, this is real. And there's actually a sequel now too. It's about shape shifting. No, we'll
Okay.
talk about it when we get back.
You piqued my interest.
This song is called "Ponds Beyond the Ice" by your new thing,
Oversoul.
Oversoul, with Wally Joseph. Great musician, terrible person. I'm just joking. I love you guys. We'll be right back.
In the entrance to perception, in the playground of the mind, that's the image of perfection. Theater to all of life. You wonder why I have tried to walk beside you. You know I tried, yet you still would rather fly. Wonder why something is coming over me.
Yeah, dude, I like it, dude. It's good.
No, thank you for playing it.
Like I said, I totally understand why you want to just say, all right, well, I'm going to just, this is going to be a different deal.
Yeah, you
Let's
know.
just turn the page and do something different.
Well, it's also another just kind of thing. It's
And just not
challenge.
name it BFD, you know?
It's another challenge, you know. It's another thing to do and to focus on and just to.
Well, and you have the creative freedom of doing whatever you want with Wally in real time. You don't need to worry about somebody else writing the riff or fucking liking the part or agreeing on the thing. Like, I think everybody should have some sort of solo project like this, you know, where there's basically it's just a kind of press play and go. And it gives you the creative freedom to also get in and out of something else, you know?
I've always been.
Did I not turn that off? Okay.
I've always been a folk fan, a fan of folk music, you know, stripped down acoustic stuff.
Well, it gives you the freedom, though, to do whatever you want instead of your entire musical identity being built on the success or failure of Black Flood Diesel.
Right. And
now, Black Flood Diesel is just one of the things you do.
Right.
And if you get a good show opportunity once a year, you guys go, hey, man, you want to fucking get it together, and hopefully everybody's still in show shape, you know, because they're doing other shit, you know, and then it's just a thing. Yeah, let's get fucking, dude, let's do it. Who cares? Let's fucking do it. It doesn't need to be a big deal every time.
I can't be getting pissed off at fucking people and having my energy like that. It's just I can't. It's exhausting. Like, what happened last June where I just lost my fucking shit? Like, I was off my fucking meds for a week and a half. And I just lost it because it was just a fucking clown college. And Jared, I just lost it. I mean, a couple of times.
This was when, June?
Yeah, last June at the Skyway. I mean, it was just a repeated shit show.
Yeah, so explain to me and to people what the fuck actually happened.
Well,
because all I seen was some aftermath going on social media.
Listen, I'll take full responsibility for losing my shit. So here's the nutshell version. And I'm going to take responsibility because I'm just going to come across as an asshole otherwise, okay? What happened was it was just going over the set times, and there were some people that were worse than others, okay? But my perception of what occurred was initially there some people that needed me to book the date because they needed the room, right? Needed me to headline to secure, right? And for the draw, right? But then once the room was there, didn't really give a fuck about the fact that if they went later, right? This is not Tempest, this is not Jendine, it's not those guys, okay?
Right.
I love them to death. Like, they're fucking family, okay? So to be
But when everybody runs 5 minutes over, it eventually adds up to 20 minutes being bled into somebody else's set time.
I ain't fucking born yesterday. I know when somebody doesn't fucking give a motherfuck about anything about me, and nor do I ask them to, but hey, look, if you're asking me for a fucking favor, and you whatever.
Well,
right?
it was different in the late 90s, early 2000s when the headlining band went on at fucking midnight, played over an hour, and bars didn't close until 2 a.m.
And listen, I'm 45 years old. I got better shit to do.
Exactly. And it's just not a thing anymore.
So I'm off my fucking Effexor for a week and a half, okay? And whatever, and it's just repeated all fucking day, all day. And the band before us is 45 minutes over their set time.
45 minutes over their set time.
Yes. And their singer's hammered.
That's an egregious issue.
Yes.
What band is this?
I'm not even going to say
Hold on.
No, I'm not going to say it.
Hold on.
Listen,
I'm going to mute this and then just tell me who it is. Ready? Hold on.
Okay,
We're back.
And I lost it at sound check earlier in the day. I went to dinner with Carlson and Chewy and Carlson.
How does one band go 45 minutes over their set time, though?
They didn't.
Was this other bands earlier than them pushing them back as well?
I think Dare Show went a little bit over. I mean, everything progressively.
Was it playing over their set, or was it turnover in between sets?
It was just everything. It was just everybody.
So the whole thing was just not
I watched
run
this, and I watched it
well.
and during the day in sound check. I went to dinner, okay, expecting things, and it just gradually. Nobody gave a fuck, really. Okay, just nobody really cared about me. Nobody cared about me, and I was off my meds. Okay, I went to dinner and had a burger.
Nobody cared about me, and I was off my meds.
So I go to dinner, and I come back, and it's the middle of the day, and I see Black Flood Diesel on Hennepin Avenue. I'm like, I come back in, and nobody cares about me, and I lose it. I fucking lose it on everybody, the dancers, the staff, everyone, about Headliner, what fucking show have you been at that the headliner doesn't get a sound check? Are you fucking out of your mind? You're gonna fucking treat me this way? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, you're not gonna have a place to, you're all gonna be playing in basements. I mean, I fucking went Axl motherfucking Rose screaming at people. They had no fucking clue. And it was like, I'm ashamed of myself.
Did you at one point in time say out loud, "Don't you know who I am"?
No, I go, here's what's going to happen. I go, I'm going to grab my guys.
Those words never came across your lips?
No, I didn't think I said that, but I might as well have, because I'm like, I'm going to grab my fucking band, and I'm going to grab my guys, and we're going to fucking leave. And all you motherfuckers are going to tell my fans why. And they're like, don't do that, Greg. I go, oh, guess who needs a motherfucking favor from Greg Moog now, huh? Oh, now it's funny how that works. So I did go down that road, and I was just losing it. And I was just interrogating everybody. I'm like, it's my fucking name on the veranda. Mine. If the fucking fire breaks out in here, who comes after? They don't come after you. You guys all fucking leave. But I'm left fucking holding the bag. I gotta pay you. I gotta fucking pay you. But if I decide to pack it in, you're playing in a fucking basement. Like, I'm just fucking lighting people up, right? And I just had it. And then these guys go 45 minutes over. Still. And I'm on stage at fucking like 12:30. And at that point, I was just like, there's no, it's too far gone.
So that's why this show is being run so militantly.
Well, all shows should be like this.
Well, not only that, but you also have a lot of bands, and that's what I was trying to explain to guys. Like, I'm like, listen, man, there's a lot of bands. It's going to be a clusterfuck. We're trying to minimize mistakes because shit's going to go down. Somebody's not going to have their shit together.
I've got 3 stage managers, 2 of which are getting paid. It's, if you go over, it's you're cut. That's just the way that it is. I got 12 bands. Yep. I got 12 fucking bands. So,
dude, that's how I would tell sound guys. I'm like, because I ended up in a similar role.
I mean, that's why I don't want to be in this role anymore.
When Shannon and Joe and when Shannon, Bill, and Joe all kind of retired at the same time, we all kind of ended up booking our own shit. And I did the same shit. I would talk to the sound guys because I was the one running the show. And I'd look at those sound guys and I'd be like, you fucking warn them when they have 5 minutes left in their set. And you let them know. As soon as, because I had it just like you have it. Here's your set time. Here's the changeover times. Right? If you change over and it takes too long, that bleeds into your set. You're being cut off at 8:40 or whatever the fucking set time ended at, right?
So,
that's what you got to do, man. You have to do that because otherwise it adds up, it bleeds over.
Jared, I'm burnt out,
dude. It's a domino effect, man.
I'm burnt out, bro. Because this isn't like 5 years I've been dealing with this. This is 20. Okay, I've been doing the business for this fucking band since 2004. Okay. It's so far past the point of like, this is not me. It's not me. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to feel like I'm pissing people off. Okay.
No, you just need the stage managers to be assholes. Get the fucking shit off stage. Do you know how many times, and honestly, this is what your lead singer is for. When you guys finish your set and it's a huge crowd and people are yelling for you, hey, the singer, go talk. The band, get the shit off the stage. Then you get to come out right after that and talk to everybody. If you have roadies, then they do that, fine. But that's what your stage managers are for. If you get done and some guy's fucking sitting there yakking with people at the front of the stage, the stage manager needs to come walking across and be like, dude, get your fucking shit off stage right fucking now. Talk to people later. Because it only takes 5 minutes to tear your shit down and get it off
Pretty
stage.
Easy.
Maybe 7 or 8 on the drums. Because you just need to get it off the fucking stage.
I'll say this right now.
You just got to get it off stage.
I'll say this right now on the fucking microphone. Any show that we're going to be playing moving forward, in the middle of the bill, never have to worry about that with us. We'll be professional as fuck.
It shouldn't even take you 5 minutes to get your shit off stage. It should take you 3 minutes to get your shit off stage.
We'll be on point with whatever set time, and you will never have to worry about us going over. Ever. And it shouldn't even be something that gets brought up.
Don't be late. Don't start late. Don't go over. Get out on time.
It's called being professional. So how I morph into an asshole for expecting that out of people is just wild to me because I was raised that way in this city by my management, by other people's management in the competitive pool. That's how we all got better.
Yep.
But it's devolved to a point to where...
Well, and it groomed you and it prepped you for when you opened for a national to be able to continue open for nationals, because that's what's expected at that level. And so you were ready when the opportunity was finally given to you.
Yes.
And that's why you need gatekeepers. You need responsible gatekeepers that do it for the right reason. But there needs to be a structure and a hierarchy. This is why so many bands just don't make it, and they don't sustain, and it's just like it's a wild fucking west of the music industry for bands right now. If you're a Sabrina Carpenter, that they've got that fucking thing nailed down to a T. They can fucking manufacture these chicks right now. Like, they literally can just take a chick, set her up with music. She doesn't even I'm not saying Sabrina Carpenter's not good.
Totally different world, though. Totally different world. Yep.
Bands, like rock music, we still have not nailed down the formula. How do you start a band, get big locally, get big regionally, draw enough attention, whether you take the deal or not? I don't even know anymore.
Well, what it is,
do you even want a record deal right now? Like, sometimes you do. It depends. I'm sure it depends on the deal. I
always did, because here's
the
thing.
There was a time when we did, but then there was a time when we didn't.
You're betting on yourself, and people, musicians are they want it all their way. Okay?
But there's a bunch of bands I know, dude, that were getting signed somewhere between, I'd say, 2008 and 2012, maybe 2006 and 2012, where they were actually doing way better before they signed a record deal.
What kind of music were they in?
Rock and metal. Rock and metal. So what was happening is they signed with like nice management labels and booking agencies that were getting them out on tour, and they were like doing pretty well. They were playing like really good fucking shows and
like
blah, blah, blah.
metalcore, like what?
I don't want to get too specific because I don't want to air people.
Genre.
Yeah, metal.
Okay.
Like not super marketable, but marketable enough. You know, not death metal is what I'm getting at.
Yep.
And they signed a fucking record label, and it didn't come with a heap of cash. It was supposed to put the engine behind them to take what they already have doing, but it literally petered out because they couldn't use that booking agent anymore. They couldn't use that fucking and they were forced to use all the in-house people from the record label, and the record label just threw them on a roster and treated them like any other random ass band. And it stifled their career and basically ruined the band.
Right.
So
might have used them as a write-off, whatever. I mean, who knows?
So there's times where you wanted the deal, and there's other times where it was like, it's actually not better to take the deal right now.
Sure.
Like, and I don't know where the industry is right now.
Well, the industry, there really are there is no label. There are no deals.
I mean, there are.
Speak, not the way that there
but
were.
It doesn't work exactly, and that's what I mean. I used to know.
You just need you need money, and you need to write. It all comes down to writing the fucking song. You got to write the song.
Well, I do know that operates. It's not about the album anymore. You're dropping singles now once every 45 days, once every 30 days, once every 60 days, whatever your thing is.
I don't think that's the answer, though. If you write people want that fucking album.
They don't. They don't. It culminates in an album, but it's a slow drip now. It's more of a constant slow drip.
Sure.
That's just how it works. You don't.
Yeah, but okay, hear me out, though. Hear me out. That is how it works, right? But if you have the patience to leg it past that, inherently the human being fucking wants that album. Everybody wants that album.
Well, you still do the album, but like, okay, for example.
People want the album, though. So we consume the single, but the human wants that fucking full length.
Here's what I'm getting at, is how you do it, though, is like, I think Metallica did this with 72 Seasons. It was visible that there was a whole album, but only one song was downloadable. Right. And then it's like a month later. I don't know if they actually did this, but this is how you would do it. Then a month later, another song turns black, and you can download that one. And then a month later, another. And you do that for like 3 to 5 months, depending on the band. Right. And each single has like some sort of a video element behind it.
Sure.
Right. So whether it's a lyric video or whether it's a full blown concept video with pyro, or maybe it's a behind the scenes of you guys recording the track. Maybe it's a fucking just a live video, just so you performing and opening for Nickelback or whoever the fuck you're, whatever. Some sort of video component to back it up.
That scale,
okay.
On that
and
scale.
then it culminates with the actual album release.
Sure.
Right. And then I also have the opinion of when you do the album release, if you're going to do any physical print at all whatsoever, it needs to have an extravagant amount of bonus content and almost peripheral shit. So like old vinyls,
Yes.
you know, Cheech and Chong, there was a giant joint paper in there. I swear to God, people
Yes.
bought that album sometimes just for the giant joint paper.
Yes.
Oh, it really is in here. Cool. Some
Yep.
people smoked it, some people didn't.
Yep.
You need to give people a reason,
agree.
a real collectible reason
Visceral.
to buy your physical media, because streaming is so convenient now.
Yes. Nobody listens to CDs. It's-
And then edit that video content, by the way, for each platform properly.
Right, and CDs never were anything that anybody wanted to hold on to. The plastic sucks. The fucking inserts suck. The vinyl's way cooler. Even fucking 8-tracks were cooler, and I never listened to 8-tracks. They looked fucking cooler to hold. CDs sucked. They even cut you. They hurt.
Yeah. I
don't
mean,
know.
I was raised on CDs. I didn't really get to do vinyl.
I mean, I even like tapes better, and those things fucking sucked.
Yeah,
CDs scratched. They just.
Dude, I remember tapes. You had
So-
to fucking put the pencil in there and rewind it.
I'm with you completely. Yeah, I'm with you completely. There's a lot that goes into it. There's just a lot that goes into it. You know, that you can overthink yourself a lot.
Oh, hey. Shout out to Jason Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
Yeah, that you know, every step of the way you can overthink yourself, and then the ego is getting in the way, and it's just a lot to where it's like you start getting angry about things. There's just no room for that, you know. It's just there's no room for that. And then in the artistic community, I don't need to be arguing with people in the music scene about whatever. It's like, dude, we're all supposed to be working together. What the fuck? This is crazy. What the fuck? I'm not even trying to argue with anybody about whatever. I'm just like, okay, here's all I'm saying. I will not be booking any more shows where people are fucking pulling this bullshit with me. Period.
Right.
That ain't happening. And you cleared out a room. You cleared out a fucking room. Okay. If you're going to be asking me for favors, you will be playing later. That's what people took exception to that. Okay. I don't see why you take exception to that. This is how I'm going to be running shit.
I think the first thing we got to do as a scene is learn how to promote shows again.
I do old school ways, and I think a lot of people don't want to compete. You know, because
But you're talking about the show, how it operates and runs. I'm talking
Yeah.
about just getting bodies in the door. I
Right.
think it starts there. Because here's the point, is when you bring, like, for example, let's say Black Flood Diesel as the headliner, or one of the headliners, whatever. Let's say there's 500 people in that room to see your band, and clearly they're there to see your band that night. Other people who thought you were just talking shit and being an asshole will see with their own two eyes. They'll be like, fuck, Greg does know what he's talking about, because this is how it works. And when they're operating in the show and it's efficient and they're going in and out, they're going to be like, dude, this is better. This does work better. Like, wow, okay. This
Sure.
all of the, because it's shown in front of their faces.
Sure.
Then other people, younger bands, see it, and then they're more willing to conform to the right professional way of doing things, so they get the incentive to play in front of those big crowds.
Sure.
So how do you bring people in? Because if we're not drawing crowds, nobody's going to listen to us.
Here's-
So we got to figure out how much money do you put into a fucking stupid Facebook or YouTube ad? How much do you put into an Instagram? Do you buy the fucking billboard like Skyline
Right.
used to? Do you go still? Maybe we go back to flyers, because I think that fucking number is still true.
Yeah,
you
it
know
is.
what I mean. And you stand out in front of the national shows and
It
you
is.
fucking
Yeah.
pass out the flyers, and let's start bringing people. Because if we do that, if you build it, they will come.
That's
People will start listening again.
That's what I'm saying, is that it comes down to we're getting older, right? And there's all of it, right? There's the competition piece of it. There's
Yeah,
the
I don't want to
flyering.
pound the pavement
No,
anymore.
no,
Let me buy
exactly.
the Facebook ads.
Exactly.
How much do I got to spend?
Exactly. And I don't want the competition piece of it. I don't want the dirty piece of it and all the pro wrestling piece of it. That's what the fans like, right? They like that shit. Okay? They like the entertainment piece of it. I don't take it that seriously. I never have. Sometimes I'll pop off at the mouth and say shit I don't even mean, because I know people will pay attention to it.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. People take that seriously in the community. I never have, and some people really don't like me for it. I'm like, listen, watch pro wrestling. People, that hasn't resonated with some people. There's heel turns all the fucking time. I try to get that through to people. We're entertainers. That's a piece of it. Okay? The people that pay admission like to see that. It's a stage. Okay? I try to get that through to people. Some people that, pick up the microphone or guitars don't. It doesn't get through to people. It's like, no, this is, and I get that. It's authentic. A little bit of Joker lives in me, right? So That's something that doesn't get through all the way, but the crowd loves that shit. They love it. They love it. They love it. They love it because that's their off time. It's their off time. They don't give a fuck about me or our dynamic.
Right.
They would love it if we were in the gladiator ring, you know?
Right.
Fucking, oh, look, can you believe what happened? That's all they talk about. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, really? Now, I'm not saying that that's all they talk about is our music scene drama, but I mean, on a bigger scale, that's all they talk about is what's in fucking Hit Parader.
Sure.
So on a micro level, that's if they're paying to get into a local show, the bigger that it is, yeah, to a degree.
Yeah.
It works. I've seen it my entire time here. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm not talking total fucking nonsense. Is it toxic? A little bit, but this is the music business.
I wonder what the budget would cost. And obviously, I think it would depend on the band, right? Because if the band can already draw 150 to 250 people, you know what I mean? It's obviously would be super easy to do. If the band only draws 50 or 100 people, it's probably going to take a while, like repetitive over and over and over and over again over the course of like a year. But I wonder how much you would have to spend in digital ads, the equivalent, how we said earlier, or I think this was before the podcast maybe, we were taught 2% of your flyered audience will show up. So 5,000 flyers was 200 people, right? So that meant 10,000 flyers was 400 people. Okay.
Sure.
Where I'm going with this is you had to actually pass them out. So you would go to a national show like a Metallica concert, or, you know, send somebody down to First Avenue main room as it gets out for some relevant band that might be a good place to promote the show. But you had to actually do this.
Kubla Khan.
Sure.
Yep.
So my question is, okay, it was really easy to do the math on that 5,000 flyers.
Yep.
It cost, you know, what was it, like $50 if they were black and white?
It
Something
was
like that,
we
or
just went to Kinko's and fucking knew a dude or whatever, and then it was like whatever. So for whatever reason, it was fucking.
It was a lot more expensive if you got the full colored flyers.
Yeah.
Right. But it worked. So I wonder, what do you have to spend? Is it $400? Is it $500 in digital ad space in order to get 200 people out, 500 people out? Because then we just do the math backwards, right? We go, okay, if we're going to get 500 people for $500, that's $1 a head.
Right.
That's. I think every band out there would pool their money together and be like, okay, we got 4 bands.
Yep.
That's $125 per band.
Yep.
Each band has 4 to 5 people in it. So we're looking at, you know, roughly fucking $30
You'd like to think so, but
per person.
But the idea.
But then the band's got to actually get paid.
Work
coming
together,
back out,
work
right?
Together, all together, get over the egos. You know what I mean? Like there's all of
It
these.
can't be that complicated, dude.
Well, it is. It is.
There's no fucking way.
It is because I mean you know that it is. You know that it is because then everybody has to consider themselves equals, right? Coordinate everything. These are all things that just don't happen with people that have egos. It doesn't happen regularly to build something because at some point in time somebody wants to run things. Somebody has an idea and it's just way out of left field. You know, somebody's narcissistic personality. I've been the person because you're all fucked up or whatever, or you just have a bad idea, right? And it just happens. We're all artists. It's the Wild West.
But I want to know. I want to stick with this math thing because this is where the fucking.
You're on the math tip.
Well, this is where the rhetoric actually. This is where the rubber hits the road. You know, this is what actually matters because this is the business, right? This is what the bar owners are always trying to figure out.
Yep.
So this is how we as musicians need to think. So I don't know what it costs, but let's say you can get 500 people through the door, right? Well, I think if I remember right, the average person spends $40 at the bar. Right?
Yeah, it used to be 20. It's probably 40 now. I mean, sure.
Maybe it's 20. Let's say
it
it's
was 20 back in the day.
Let's say it's 20. That's 10 grand, right? Oh, whoops, I fucked that up. Yeah, that's 10 grand. So that's what they make at the bar, right? That's what the bar would get. That's a good night at the bar, I think, right? For a lot of places, if they're doing 10 grand on a single night.
We had about a couple hundred people at the last Skyway show in June, and there were people hammering at the bar, and they were fucking thrilled. They're
Sure.
like, it's a great night at the bar. They're
Right.
like about 170 paid.
Right. Okay.
So about
So-
210 through with everybody.
But let's just stick with this 500 number for a second. So 500 people, and let's say, because it's the new economy, let's say you get $18 per person at the door, right? That seems a little high for a local show, but it's like I said, it's the new economy. This is the only way local bands will ever make money is this cover charge right here, and then you got to buy some merch too. But let's say you get $18.
It's nine grand.
That's $9,000 through the door, bro.
Yep.
Okay. Now you're on average, you're going to spend if you're doing this, if you get the whole door, which you should, which we should.
Well,
I don't think we get it.
fair enough.
I don't think we get it often enough, but usually you don't get it because you're evading a room rental fee.
Yep.
You're evading paying for the sound guy, security. There's a bunch of shit that goes into that. So it's like, whatever. Let's say you get 75% of it, right? I think a lot of places will only give you 50%, which is highway robbery. But let's say you get 75% of it. Okay, that's $6,700 for the bands. Okay, on average, you're probably going to have. You should only have 4 bands, but let's say you need 5 to get to this number. Okay, if every band got paid equally, it's $1,350. Okay, so that's not how it should happen, because if you put this bill up right, the headlining band should draw the most, and it should go down the chain, right?
Right.
So you wouldn't do it like that. You would skew it a little bit, but even if it's $1,350, no matter what it is,
Right.
if I ask each band to contribute $250 to the promo,
Right.
right? Whether it's buying a billboard or blah 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 blah. Okay, that's $1,000. Actually, that would be $1,200, $1,250 if it's 5 bands, right?
Yeah, but what we're
So let's just say it's
let me
$200.
just stop you right here. What we're
What does
talking about?
$1,000 buy us? Here's the point. Can we get 500,000? Can we get 500 people through the door with $1,000 in digital
We're
marketing?
not talking about
That's
a
what we need to figure out.
realistic. We're not talking about a realistic, regular environment. Think about this: the concept of a regularly repeating 500 draw, where bands are willingly dumping in this money, creating the product on an original level, right? And 500 people are paying, right? Where this type of door pool is regenerating itself on a club level, I have never been a part of in this city, playing original music. As a headliner, I've never been a part of what we're talking about in 25 years.
Not in this town.
Not in this town. Not in this town. And this city has one of the best original artistic communities in the country that I've seen. I just haven't seen the capabilities of what we're talking about. 500 people is a lot of people to have I mean, that's like attracting interest from out of the community, right?
Well, it would be 100 on average, 100 people per band, but it wouldn't be, because you'd have, if your headlining band is headlining and the total through the door is 500, your headlining band should have at least 200 of that, right? So that means the other 4 bands are only bringing in 300, right? Your direct support should bring in probably 100.
It's very difficult to find bands that can draw 200 or more people.
I know, but
in general.
But there are a couple. The problem is they're doing the same thing we did, is they're playing with the same other 3-4 bands.
Sure.
So they're only playing to the same 250, 300 people. They're not playing with another band that can draw a different 100 people.
Right.
And another band who can draw a different 70 people. And that's what I'm getting at. When you get down, if we keep this stupid hypothetical of 5 bands night, there's 200 people left divided by 3 bands.
Right.
So that's 66 people per band. If there's an average of 4 or 5 people per band, that means each guy only needs to guilt. At the beginning of your career, you guilt trip people when you're a kid, you're 18 years old. Please come see my band, support me, blah, 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 blah. You only got to get 10 to 12 people.
Sure.
Like,
This is
it's
true.
not that fucking hard to do.
I know.
It's not that fucking hard to do.
And this is why I love Poge.
And when you
Sean,
do it,
Sean Pogela
and
is
when
one
you
of the
do
most
it-
genius business
let me
guys
say
I've
this, though.
ever met.
Let me
He's
say this,
one of
though.
my best friends,
Let
and
me
I do
say this,
business with
though.
him all the time. He's fucking great at business.
But let me say this,
Always
though.
has been.
I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm saying it's not that difficult. It's not that complicated. What I am saying is when you do get those 66 people, or your 120, or your 250, whatever number it is, really appreciate it, because a lot of those people when you get past 18, 19, 20, 21, a lot of people start having kids. They got to
Yes.
get babysitters. Like, it becomes their night out.
Right.
And some of them, they only get a couple of those a year. And if they're picking to go to your fucking local metal show, you better fucking be grateful, especially
Right.
if they buy a fucking t-shirt.
Yes.
Like, that's a fucking somebody genuinely trying to support you.
Yes.
Then the point is, don't fucking take that money and go fucking spend it on gas
Right.
or food. Fucking invest that money
Why I
on
got
more
pissed when
fucking
people
promo.
went over the set time and fucking drove people out. I mean, it's all...
Dude, it drives me fucking nuts, dude.
So, yeah. Yes, in theory, what you're talking about, yes, absolutely. I totally agree with it. In practice, very difficult to continue the cycle, right? Very difficult to do, right? Because there's just a lot of moving parts. You know, you get greedy promoters, you get people who try to fucking, you know, there's just people who try to short corner,
True.
hustlers, you know, fucking con artists, whatever. This is the business that we're in.
True.
So all of these things, when you hang around long enough, you see a lot. And then the new people that come in think they can fucking get one over on you. That ain't gonna happen. All this shit. So I just lean back on trying to write good music now, because the people that will like music will always go to that. Always go to that. I know all the fucking tricks at this point, right? Whatever. That's cool. The clubs know me. I can do business with the clubs. That's not going to be an issue, right? And I know my draw at this point. I got numbers to back that up. Fucking 20 years, right? My numbers are good. So whatever. It's kind of, I mean, it fucking sucks. You know, it sucks, but you gotta, I think the solution is diversifying the types of bands we play with a little bit. You know, like metal bands have a bad problem with just, we play with our buddies, right? Like, oh, you're and I get that, right? We're all good friends and you bond over this and we've known each other for years. That's not evolving things, right? It's not evolving in the community, and you got to push the envelope a little bit where you're diversifying the crowd, and it's a little bit, you know, you're pushing the artistic boundary, and you kind of want to play with bands maybe a little better than you too. Sometimes.
Yeah. No, it's very, very good for you.
You need to be threatened a little
Yep.
bit.
Yep.
That's okay. I need to feel sometimes like
Yep.
maybe somebody might be pushing me that might be better than me.
Yep.
That's okay.
Like, oh shit, I've got sloppy. I got to fucking practice
Wow,
more.
holy
Yep.
fuck, that dude might be a better vocalist than me on like that. I need to feel that. Okay. And if it goes a few years that I don't feel that, or I'm not going to a show that I don't feel that, then I'm losing my passion or my drive maybe for the job, right? That's an integral part of it for me, because the fan needs that. That's what, you're a fucking front man. I'm a motherfucking front man.
Right.
Okay. Period. Right. And so, like, just all part of it, you know, that brings in the 500 people. So it's a lot. But yeah, it's a lot. I love it. I mean, I love all of it.
I think you should be able to do it.
You know,
Your number's 500 total for the whole day. We should be able to do that pretty easily.
over 9 hours for the event that it is.
That should be no problem.
there's some really good
I think
fucking bands.
I think the real key is, and this is what I think the hardest part of your day / show / event, whatever, your fest. The hardest part is this. Your first hardest thing is going to be getting people there early to see the early bands. That's going to be hard.
Yep.
That's going to be number one. And number two is getting people to stick around to see more than just the one or two bands they came to check out. And three, getting whatever number of people that do come all there at any one time in any one room
Right.
at the right time to give it the vibe, dude.
Yep.
This is why you were talking about, like, I think it was a while. I think you've ditched this theory now, but you were talking about this a while back. I think you said, you're like, I only want to do big stages. I'm on like this thing about
Yep.
big stages. I'm going the other way, dude. I want to do small rooms.
Yep.
I want to get a bill like we used to do at the Underground. You remember we did this a couple times? I think that place holds 180 people, maybe 160, and we'd try to cram 200 into it. Right?
Yep.
We'd sell 200 tickets legitimately. I think 3 bands we were doing this. This was a while ago. This was 10 years ago, but 12, 14 years
Yeah.
ago. But regardless,
Beginning
we
of
still
the
did
2010s. Yeah.
it. Yeah, we still did it. And the vibe in that tiny club
Yeah. That was great.
was awesome. And it sounds so much better.
Yeah.
Music sounds better when the room is full of people.
Yeah, when it's live.
Dude, no, when the room's full of people.
When it's, exactly. When the fucking buzz is in there and the people are fucking
Dude,
bumping, yeah.
and the fucking, what do they call them? Some of the sound guys. What do you guys call them, Murph? You hang out with sound guys, fucking meat puppets or meat bags or something like that. Blood bags. That's what it is.
I love
Fucking
That's
blood
great.
bags.
That's great.
Like, you'll hear really experienced sound guys who've been around a long time. Like, I've heard this a lot. They go, oh yeah, this room will sound great when you fill it up with a bunch of blood bags.
Yeah.
And because the way a full room absorbs the frequencies,
yeah,
dude, it's
fucking meat sacks in there that just absorb the fucking the fucking analog tone, dude.
and the vibe, like
Absolutely.
it gets warm, like because the body heat, right?
Yep.
So then you like. You take off the extra layer, so you're just in a t-shirt, you're comfortable.
Yep.
When you don't have extra clothing on, you're way more comfortable. You feel loose, you feel free.
Yep.
You're way more into getting engaged. You're also, since you're thirsty, more likely to have a couple drinks. That's going to lower your inhibitions, which is going to make you fucking jam out harder.
Yep.
Which just, all of this is a positive feedback loop that creates a vibe and a great fucking show.
Yes, sir.
So it also creates a great orgy, but we're not talking about P. Diddy.
Heyo.
We're not talking about P. Diddy. No, he talked about that. He talked about that. I didn't realize what I was saying until I was like pretty much done with it. I was like, fuck, this is exactly how P. Diddy explains his parties.
It's just crazy. Holy fuck, it's just wild. That dude was just fucking sexually obsessed with just like, holy.
1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I mean, it's just like, holy
I
fuck.
don't even know what's real in that whole thing anymore, dude.
Who even, I mean, how can ya?
But it just proves anybody with money or institutional power will abuse it. It's a perfect example of this idea that like white supremacy and only white people can abuse power and blah 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 blah. Let's put black people in charge of everything and women in charge of everything. No. Stop. Just stop. We've already figured this out thousands of years ago.
People
right?
fucked up. People are perverted.
I'm not saying it should be men, but I'm saying anybody who gets in positions of power like this, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yes.
It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
Like anybody who gets unchecked power will abuse it because nobody is infallible. You know what I mean? Like this is ancient knowledge.
Yeah.
Like this is not.
Sacrifices are occurring for power.
Yep. That's what happens.
Hate to break it to everybody, but that's what's occurring.
And in order to get to these megalithic places, they're all evil.
Yes.
That's why I don't sympathize or fucking like none of these motherfuckers, which is again why I said publicly online, because I do the podcast, so I just got to be open and honest about this shit because I don't want to fucking dance around shit and fucking bullshit people. Here's the thing.
You don't?
What I said was
You don't want to bullshit people and dance around fucking half-truths?
What I said was I'm reluctantly voting for Trump because the left has lost their fucking mind. That
How did people take that?
Not well, but the reluctance is growing less and less because of RFK and Tulsi and just like he's a different guy. He's a different president. He's a different a presidential candidate. He's a different campaign. Like everything about it is different this time.
Yeah. He's
admitted faults, which he never admitted
people
faults.
need to ease the fuck up.
But he never admitted anything he ever did wrong. He's admitting that now. He's like, I listened to the experts. I appointed the people they said I should appoint. I had some bad people giving me bad advice. I made a lot of mistakes. I appointed the wrong people.
Right.
Now I have good people in my corner. Dude, RFK with the Make America Healthy, I'm on board. Tulsi Gabbard, please, for the love of God, make her Secretary of State.
I mean,
oh my God.
If people don't like Tulsi Gabbard, you need a fucking lobotomy. That's all I'm going to say about politics. I fucking love Tulsi Gabbard.
She's the shit, dude.
I would lick her butt.
Well,
and I'm going to leave it at that.
Not only is she smoking hot and easy to look at while she talks, but the tone of her voice is also dope.
Yeah.
But dude, honestly, just her rhetoric and her like her policies, her positions, she's probably the most reasonable politician I've ever heard speak.
I fell in love with her. I watched her light up Kamala Harris at the Democratic debates. I watched that when she was a Democrat.
Recently, I need to finish that sentence. Recently, because I'm not comparing her to like past presidents like Obama and shit. I'm saying recently in like the last 8 years. I think she's the most reasonable politician I've ever heard speak.
Yeah, I
since
fell
like
in love with her
2016.
in the Democratic primaries.
That's exactly what I'm talking
and I was like, I fucking love her. And then when she flipped to Republican, this is when I was still into the shit. I'm like, That's it. That's it. That is
Well,
the
she
one.
didn't even flip. She went
She was, like,
independent for a while.
independent, yeah. She went rogue.
just yeah.
I was like, this is the one.
She
This
kind of
is the
did what
one.
I did.
Yeah, this is the
But
one.
first.
She's awesome and she's hot.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is too good to be true.
Dude,
here.
she is gorgeous.
Oh, man, she's
and
good.
honestly, if the DNC would have run her, I'd still be voting Democrat. I would
Yeah.
vote for her, but she wasn't willing to do the weird bullshit that the party wanted to do,
Right.
and so they ousted her for Kamala, which is exactly why I'm not voting for
Right.
them. The logic of what they did and the policies they push alienated people like me, which are like rational, reasonable middle ground voters
Yeah.
that really have solidified the DNC's grip on the nation for years. And I'm not the only person that feels like this.
No.
They alienated hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions.
Tulsi Gabbard made Kamala Harris look like an infant in that debate, and anybody who says otherwise is fooling themselves. I mean, it was night and day on that stage who was capable and who wasn't. They were both,
Are you excited for Kamala to be president? Because she's probably going to win.
she's probably going to win. I mean, I just don't think it matters at this point, honestly. I
She's
don't.
definitely going to win Minnesota for sure, which is why, like, another reason when people get mad at me, like, I can't believe, I'm like, dude, it doesn't fucking matter.
doesn't.
Minnesota's going to her.
Yeah,
Like, it's
and
the
we've
electoral
already been in
college.
this
Like,
economy for fucking years anyways.
I'm basically throwing my vote away, but I'm not going to do it with the Libertarian. I'm not voting for RFK. I'm like, it's a protest vote.
Yes.
I'm straight up like, dude, no.
I don't think
you
it-
guys
I
have
don't-
lost your fucking minds.
I don't think it matters. I just don't think that it.
Do you think it's rigged?
Yeah, I do. I think it's been rigged one way or the other since the fucking since Florida stepped in and Bush Gore 2000.
Yeah.
I think it's always been rigged one way or the
Yeah,
other.
I remember those court cases.
Yeah.
I was
So-
like 18 when all that went down.
That's-
17.
That's something that I've come to terms with. I mean, one way or the other, whichever way they want it.
Yeah, the voting machines. That guy admitted that shit later.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh yeah, we did it.
So
we did that."
way or whatever with Nixon. I mean, it's always been rigged. I think across the fucking world. So
They definitely. I think both sides try to rig it, and I don't know.
it's like boxing, right? If you don't own both fighters, you would never leave it up to chance in a prize fight. If you didn't control the outcome by owning both fighters.
Oh, you mean like what's his name? Like Don King?
So yeah, so it's same
He
concept. applies.
represented fucking both Tyson and what's his name?
Correct. So some overlord controls both parties behind the scenes. That's my theory.
It does feel like that way an awful lot, you know. Like,
Whatever that is, up to interpretation, but that's what I believe.
It does feel like that quite a bit, dude. It does feel like it doesn't matter what you do. There's this dude I follow on Instagram called Cancel This Clothing Line. That's what his channel's called. And I started following him because he would go to the grocery store and take a picture of the aisle and then research who owns each company. And like the entire fucking aisle is owned by basically like 3 or 4 mega companies.
Sure.
And those mega companies all basically trace back to BlackRock, State Street,
Right.
and whatever the third one is. There's always a third, Vanguard.
That was the fucking crazy theory with Puff Daddy that I heard today, was that everything went south for him when he fucking sued the liquor company Ciroc that is owned by BlackRock. Mm-hmm. When he did that, his chick Cassie came out with the claim, and she got paid.
Well, BlackRock doesn't even own these companies. But they're the majority shareholder.
Right, like so he bit the hand that fed. He shouldn't have done that. Whatever. He got too big for his britches, and the house came down on him.
Yeah.
So he fucked around with some shit he shouldn't have with the devil. Type of deal. Fucked up shit.
yeah.
Real fucked up shit. Like really fucking weird shit.
That's what's super interesting is watching all these celebrities, just like with the Epstein shit, just like with the Weinstein shit, like with the Sandusky shit. Like now all these people are condemning Diddy, and it's like, y'all motherfuckers knew he was doing this
Right.
shit the whole time. Like, stop pretending you didn't. Like, when people like me, like, I was never surprised with the P. Diddy shit. I always knew that dude was shady. I could see it in his fucking face
Right.
when he would look into the camera trying to be like an evil Don, like a mob boss. You could
Right.
see it in his fucking eyes. He's always been an evil person. There's been rumors that he had fucking Tupac killed since day one. He's been involved with so much shady shit. There's been so many rumors about him for years.
Yep.
Like same thing with Cosby and none of
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
So when this comes out and it happens, I'm not fucking surprised. I'm like, yeah. And here's the point: if it got to me, right? Like, I don't know these people. I'm just an asshole from Minneapolis.
Right.
But I've been hearing these rumors for 20 fucking years, and you're way fucking closer to this dude. You're like 1 degree away from him, you know, in the
Right.
degrees of separation. Don't tell me you didn't hear the fucking rumors. Don't give me that bullshit.
Well-
of course you did. You just didn't say anything because either he has something on you, had something on you, or you didn't want him to try to get something on you because you're fucking scared.
Right.
And it's some bullshit, man.
So-
it's some fucking bullshit, dude. And all those people are shady, dude.
If you put people's talent through a strainer, so to speak, right, that tells a lot also. Like, you look at the guy as a rapper or whatever, as a creative talent. I don't know, as a producer, people are like, oh, he's produced a lot of stuff. That could be the case. I don't know really anything of an original work of his that's any fucking good that I could put a name on. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm shortchanging him. I don't fucking know. But
He did that one song, which would be tough to call an original work. But remember, he did Every Breath You Take over the Sting riff. Or the Police riff or whatever it is. But again, he just kind of sampled the guitar riff. I don't know that you could call that.
you know, it's kind of a half-assed R&B tune.
Right.
You know?
It's one of the things I never liked about hip hop is a lot of it was that. They
Right.
just took something that somebody else actually wrote, rapped over it.
Right.
Oftentimes just kept the chorus. Like that's what Diddy did. Like
Yeah.
that who's singing on that? Is it Mary J. Blige?
He sounds more like a guy that like moves kilos of cocaine and then gets in the booth on the weekend because
Yeah,
he knows
sucks.
he knows
Dude,
the musicians, you know.
Dude, his weird reality TV show, do you remember that back in the day? Oh, dude, it was so weird, bro. Murph, see if you can pull this up. P. Diddy's old, it'd be Puff Daddy's old reality show where he was like, oh, God, it was so fucking cringe, dude. It was like, how do you even explain
there's
this?
some weird fucking clips that they're showing, like a celebrity auction with David Beckham.
You remember like Big Brother?
Oh yeah.
It was kind of like that, but you were competing for a record contract with P. Diddy.
Oh yeah. Making the band. Making the band.
So you would have like
You got to go and get Ethiopian
see if you can find
coconuts
the,
to the store. At
see if you can find the short, the YouTube short.
Yeah.
See if you can find it. Puff Daddy reality show. Two black guys sing off.
He'd get like
it was
the
a
6 or
sing-off.
7 aspiring artists that would be willing to do anything.
Oh, dude! And
Yeah.
one time he made him walk across New York for a cupcake, a single cupcake.
Yeah.
And on like a timer.
If they really wanted it, that's what they got to do.
Yeah, you got to be willing to do anything.
Yep.
That's why I totally believe. No, this ain't the clip. This ain't the clip. See if
I
you
mean,
can
just
find.
a-
See if
just
you
a
can.
trip.
He made him do a sing off.
Yeah, making the band. Cheesecake Run.
Oh wait, scroll up. Maybe that was it. No, that was making the band
fucking
freestyle
way.
rap. No.
What a trip.
Oh wait. That was it.
And then there's
Freestyle ballad.
There's the Chappelle Show fucking parody.
Freestyle ballad. Go up.
See, this brings me
Oh,
back
that
to
is
the
battle. Never
This brings
mind.
me back to
Never
the
mind.
Diesel heyday. 2002 is the Diesel heyday.
Oh, you don't have to play it, Murph. I wanted you to find the short, the YouTube short, not any of these.
2002, the cocaine was
See if
good.
you can find it in the background.
Playing X Fest, there
They
were
make them do like a sing off.
strippers everywhere and coke, and shows were great, and fucking yes.
He's a fucking weirdo,
Dude, he's a real
He's
weirdo.
always been a weirdo.
He's fucked. Yeah, real fucked up.
And I do. There are some of those conspiracies, like the Illuminati shit. Like I think there is something to a lot of that stuff, dude. Because like
Fuck yeah.
the amount of like very specific and repetitive satanic imagery in a lot of their stuff.
Fucking absolutely. The Olympic shit. Fucking.
Is that
dude.
Tulsi Gabbard?
That's Tulsi.
That barely looks like her.
That looked like some Illuminati shit.
Yeah, that's some Illuminati shit.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, but she's hot.
She's hot. She, whatever.
Yeah,
Tulsi, like I said, she gets a pass.
yeah. That's the Rock, the fucking.
Well, I got the fucking pyramid on my fucking
not
neck.
the Rock, the wrestler. That's the what's his name, Jay-Z.
Yeah, I got the fucking old
Rockefeller.
CNI on my fucking neck or whatever the eye.
Yep, you're tainted, dude. You've been marked by the devil.
It's not.
You'll never get into heaven now, you blasphemer. You son of a bitch.
I can make a good argument
You
about things.
You tarnished your temple, and you're now a heathen.
Now, well,
You
now,
son of a bitch.
now and before. We'll make, we're making amends.
I went to a Christian school that was like that for a little bit. It was so wild. Like, you couldn't have facial hair.
Yeah.
Cleanliness was next to godliness. That was one of the things. Tattoos were a no-no because your body's a temple. Like, they quoted all this shit. And I just remember I was sitting there one day and I was like, wait a minute. Jesus has a beard.
Yeah.
And they did not like that. They did not like that. I got in a lot of trouble for that one because I wasn't willing to let it go.
Yep.
And I escalated it and I kind of like lost my temper and I was like, nah, this is bullshit.
Yep.
Right? Because I believed in God.
Right.
But I didn't believe in their bullshit. Right. Yeah. And I remember it escalated so much that I got 24 hours I had to stand in the corner.
What?
Yeah.
That's a long time in the corner.
Yeah, you have to stand with your nose in the corner, and I had to do 24 hours.
Because you questioned authority?
Oh yeah.
Fuck
It was
that.
It was a boarding school. It was a wild school, dude. It was a wild place, dude.
Yeah.
You'd get swats.
Fuck that.
Dude, I got in fist fights with the counselors a few times, dude. Like, yeah, for real. Because here's the thing: if I did something wrong,
Yeah.
I took my swats, I took my punishment. So the minimum punishment was 4 swats on the ass with the big ass fucking, not a whip. It was like a weird stick, fucking. It's a rod, whatever.
Like a club?
Yeah,
A
sort
Morning
of.
Star?
Sort of. Like, the problem was he was old and he missed and hit you in the lower back a lot. And he was still strong enough to swing hard as fuck. So that was the problem.
Fuck.
And sometimes he'd also get a little bit low because you try to move and like get in his sweet spot. So he'd hit you on the ass. And sometimes he'd adjust accidentally because he's old and he'd miss on the bottom side. And every once in a while he'd clip a nut.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was bad. And then so the minimum punishment was 4 swats and an hour in the corner. So anytime you fucked up, it was 4 swats and an hour in the corner. And
That sounds awful.
and I took that shit like a man every time, right? Every time I did something wrong and they caught me, I did that shit. But when I didn't do it and they tried to hang me up for something I didn't do, I was like, no,
Yeah.
we're not doing this. I'm not taking that. And dude, it would escalate to fist fights, dude.
Yeah.
I did 24 hours in the corner. A lot, bro.
All right.
Fucking dude.
Look, I'll do it if I did it.
For real.
But I ain't doing this if I didn't fucking do it.
Right.
And that's that.
Right, dude. For
And
real.
we're gonna fucking go to blows
It
about
did
this
not
shit.
go well for me.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna tell you one thing. You're old and you fucking hit me in the balls. Okay.
Right.
And I'm taking my punishment. But if I didn't do it, I'm not gonna take a nut shot from you, old motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's not happening. Because I
is-
believe in God, okay? But I'm not going to get punished for shit I didn't do when I believe by your old ass.
Right, and your weird rules that don't make any sense.
Yeah,
Like,
this is not a God thing right here. Y'all are fucked up.
Right.
So let's go.
which it was a boarding school for misbehaving youth. So
You're sticking up for yourself, though. That's not misbehaving.
yeah, I mean, I'm not
You're sticking up for yourself.
I'm not criticizing how I acted, but I definitely can't defend my actions. Like,
Listen, I don't think
but
that...
it did teach me a lot about being a man. It did teach me a lot about fighting. Like, that's how I learned how to fight. So when I got out of boarding school, I was like 14, and as skinny and as small as I was like, listen, I fought like 3-4 grown men.
Yeah.
Like, it's taken me 3 and 4 grown men to pin me down.
Yeah.
Like, I can handle 1 or 2 teenage boys now.
Right.
And that's when the tide turned and like I started being able to hold my own physically too. So like a lot of good came out of it. I learned like what real violence is because I would get my ass kicked. When they finally won, they would beat the shit out of me. Like
Well,
it wasn't like all,
Right.
duckies and bunnies.
You
like,
reach your breaking point, and that was...
yeah, or sometimes I just get tired. It's 4 grown men. Like
Right.
one of them would come. I'd always fuck 1 or 2 of them up bad though. Like
Right.
one, like the first 1 or 2 that came in, like it was like I knew I was gonna lose. So it was like 2 of you are either losing teeth or
Yeah.
like I'm breaking a nose or like.
Yeah.
like
Right.
yeah,
And so you picked on that, yeah. So it's a learning experience.
Yep.
Yep. No, I mean, you need that. That's good. You get, similarly, I'm not a big guy at all, and I'm not a fighter. Not at all. Not at all. Fucking can't stand it. But you pick things up over the course of life, like if this has got to go down, it's gonna be ugly.
Well, and you gotta understand, like
It'll be ugly.
as soon as there's 2 guys, like If you lose, you might die.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's the reality. That's why you
Absolutely.
shouldn't fight.
No,
because like that's the reality. And if you lose this fight,
Yeah.
there's a legitimate chance that this guy doesn't stop and he
Sure.
just beats you to death. So be very careful who you actually fight.
Sure.
Like,
Right. You don't want to pick fights that you don't want to get into fights that you could lose.
well, right. And as a kid fighting 4 counselors, I got the shit kicked out of me, but I knew they were never going to beat me to death.
The other piece of it too.
I knew it would always result with me fucking. There was times where I refused to stand in the corner, so you just let your body go limp, and they would hold you in the corner.
Every individual, every human being has something that they're fucking terrified of. Every human being.
What is yours? What's your biggest fear?
What's my biggest fear?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Or what's your most realistic fear? Not even because that's dumb, right? Your biggest fear. That's stupid. What's your most realistic?
I've spent
fear?
a lot of time looking at it. Because I'm a big believer in this concept.
Just say the Jews. I'm kidding.
I don't honestly. I don't.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, dude. I'm Jewish. I'm kidding.
I
can
don't
make
know.
these jokes.
Heights is a big one.
I'm Jewish. You
Heights
guys.
is a big one. It would be probably something in the animal kingdom, maybe potentially, because you don't have any control over it. Human beings, I'm not afraid of at this point in time.
Okay, I'm gonna give you like a fucking wand, and with this wand you get to go boop and guarantee you'll never die this way.
Guarantee you'll never die this way?
Yeah. So
fuck! I wouldn't want to burn alive.
Right.
That would suck.
That's got to be an easy one to pick. Yeah.
I mean, that would fucking suck.
Drowning would be probably pretty terrifying.
I'm terrified of anything happening to my child before I die. That is a valid one.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
when, if and when you have a child, you'll understand what that feels like.
Yeah.
That's at the top of the pile.
Yeah.
Right. I would die before anything happens to my child.
Of course.
So that's numero uno. But it's. I don't know. I don't know about. Obviously, I have fears about things for sure.
Do you have any like stupid ones like heights?
Yeah, heights is a big one.
You have
Heights,
fear of heights?
I have a fear of heights
Or
when
spiders or anything?
I'm not.
Any other one? Just heights?
Bugs and mice,
Really?
bugs and rodents. Yeah, rodents and bugs. Yeah, I don't like those at all. I don't know if we ever talked about this. This is a very real thing. I'm not even fucking around with this. We've talked about this. One of the first memories that I came to the realization that I have, and I thought it was a dream, was, and I went to, I'm going to see somebody else on Friday about this, but went to a hypnotist about this, was an abduction case, an alien abduction case when I was a child. I thought it was a dream.
You think you were abducted?
I know that I was abducted. I know that I was abducted by either as a reptilian or a gray when I was my first two. I know
That's crazy, dude.
I know that I was. I know
That's
that I was
so
because it spoke to me. It's the only dream I've ever had that spoke to me in a telepathic way that I could hear in an auditory way. And for up until about 2 years ago, I thought it was a witch that looked like Doctor Doom. Okay, brown cloak, green face, and it was only after
What if you were just abducted by another person as a baby?
because it spoke in a different way.
What if your mom just simply abducted you as a baby?
It would be.
What if your mom's not really your mom, dude?
Then that would be fucking wild.
That would be fun. That would be like the most epic.
Yeah, because every fucking
Your
thing,
mom's like secretly a child
Yeah.
abductor. Like,
everything
just
that I've ever
walked
seen
into a
about
hospital.
aliens, about how they talk,
Sure.
that's what it sounded like.
Sure.
And it made sense after I was.
That's scary,
After I
dude.
seen something and was meditating and saw some fucking thing, it looked more green.
So what do you think they wanted?
It was just it was in the early 80s and it was a crib abduction case, and I think they probably wanted some DNA. And it was a baby. And it was in early fucking 80s, and it said,
You think they're going to come back for you to check up on you?
No, I don't think so, but I do think that some of the weird shit that I think that I mean...
You think you got a tracker in you?
I don't fucking know. Maybe not.
Well, that's what we do.
I think a lot of people do.
That's what we do.
I think abduction cases absolutely happened. Yeah, like that.
That's just a person in a mask, though, bro.
Either way, it was like that. It was like that. That's what it was like, though. That's what it was like. It was a darker brown robe. It was a darker brown robe.
What if that's just your mom in a mask, dude?
It could have been some weird sex party that they had. I don't fucking know. What I'm telling you is that shit happened.
What if it's? I have this theory, like, and this is a little outside of the Christian philosophy,
Yep.
but I do have a theory that you might be reincarnated over and over again until you get it right.
Yep.
And I have a theory that when you're young, you can actually remember, like, wisdom, because you know how, like, certain children just, like, I don't know how to explain
Past lives.
Yeah, almost, right? And I think those memories of your old life go away as you build new memories of this life.
Sure.
And so the point is from the moment you can build memories, which is sometime in the womb, it's before you're born.
Yep.
You can already build some form of memories. Maybe not. Maybe that's wrong. When do children start forming memories, Murph?
Have you ever heard of the Akashic Records? You ever heard anything about that?
No. But I think possibly, maybe, theoretically, what your memory is that you're thinking is possibly one of your last memories.
So
one of your first memories on this earth might be one of your last memories,
right?
From the old.
Yeah,
version.
the Akashic Records.
3 or 4 years old, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of
See, I can definitely remember something from... Yeah, I was going to say right there at 2. I definitely remember certain things at 2.
I mean, I remember going out the fucking window. I mean, this is all real shit. I have no reason to fucking lie to you whatsoever about nothing at this point, right? You've been around me for years, and fucking we've been involved with crazy shit, right?
Uh-huh.
Whatever. This is fucking just another thing that I'm telling you, okay? Yeah. I have no reason to just fucking fabricate this. So that's like a part of my fabric, right? And
so you really think you were abducted
I know,
by aliens?
yes, absolutely. I wouldn't be saying this unless I absolutely 100% believe this. And the next song that I'm writing with Wally is about this. I wrote this song in a vision. It's about this. It's called,
Dude, this is so crazy,
it's called
bro.
The Harvesting. It's about this. It's about separating the zeros from the ones, and it's about this. So it's like it's having visions and stuff. And what I'm saying is that the entire wrapping this together, writing music my entire life, when I write lyrics and I write music, it doesn't come from my emotional template so much as it's coming from something, the oversoul or something else writing it. It's always been that way, right? So in that essence, it kind of proves the fact to me that happened to a degree. Because it's being funneled from something that doesn't feel like it's a part of my emotions, if that makes sense, right? It's not like my emotional experience didn't write that last song that we heard, okay? It kind of shows up, right? And it makes perfect fucking sense, and I resonate with it, but it's not from this life experience.
Why'd you do that when you said resonate?
I don't know. It's just...
You stroke... You like,
no,
I resonate with it. It took me out for a second, dude. I was like, why'd you do that, man?
I have no idea that I did that. I don't know. So it's, yeah, I know.
I thought I did something
I know
weird.
it sounds, no.
I thought you were trying to like signal to me like.
No. So the whole thing is fucking crazy. Okay. I know it sounds crazy, but it just is what it is. So on Friday, I'm going to talk to this chick about this, right? The Akashic Records are supposedly the records of every soul of the fucking universe, the cosmic web, fabric of fucking time, right? There's supposedly a record throughout the history of fucking time, right? And these seers...
Is it like acacia, like the tree, like Akashic, like that way? Like how do we look this up?
I want to say it's AKKAC, IAC, something like that.
How many Ks?
Yeah, and so it's new age, like light worker type shit, right? Here you go.
The Akashic.
Yep.
A collection. Okay, I'll read this out loud. The Akashic Records are a collection of memories of all events, thoughts, feelings, and actions that have occurred since the beginning of time. They're said to be imprinted on acacia, a fluid ether that exists beyond the human senses. Theosophists, am I saying that right? Theosophists and anthroposophists believe that the akashic records are encoded on the mental plane, a non-physical plane of existence. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
right. So it's some
So
pretty.
there's no proof that this even exists.
No, there isn't. There isn't. So it's some fucking rabbit hole shit, right? That I'm just checking out. We're checking it out. It's in the hypnotist type of fucking realm, right? But so is alien abduction shit, right? I'm kind of just following the breadcrumbs type of thing, and seeing, if there's smoke, if there's not, or whatever, right? Point being, I absolutely believe that I was yanked out of my fucking crib when I was a kid. 1,000%.
Do you have any memory on the ship?
None of that.
So you have no idea whether they diddled you or not?
No, but I'm guessing probably fucking shove something up my butt. I mean, that's usually what happens. Probably.
That's why you're such a fucking weirdo, dude. I'm telling you.
It probably.
My mom thinks she was also abducted. She thought she had
Jared,
a tracker
it probably
in her
didn't help
leg.
things.
So when I was like 6, my mom actually went in and got a very minor surgery. She had this weird lump building in her knee.
Mm-hmm.
And she called it her alien tracking device. And the doctor fucking just gently slit her leg open, and this giant like egg came out of her fucking, and it wasn't attached to anything, right? So it was like a cyst,
Yeah.
but it wasn't attached to anything. It just came out. There was almost no blood because there's very little blood vessels around your knee. A lot of people don't know that, but it just kind of came out. And then he set it down, and he was looking at it, and he didn't cut it open. He went to cut it open, and right before he touched it with the knife, it fucking exploded.
Whoa.
Yep. And like exploded and like not covered the room, but like went all over the tiny little office. So they're 6-7 feet away, 8 feet away. Like, yeah, the nurse came in and fucking she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to clean this whole thing up."
Whoa. That's fucking wild.
And so my mom's convinced she was abducted by aliens, and they left a tracking device.
I mean, yeah. I mean, listen, I believe in all that shit. I totally believe in all that shit. And it's
Why do they play with our buttholes?
Well, because they want to get our DNA. They're genetically.
But why the butthole?
Because it extracts. That's how you make fucking people nut, and that's how you get the fucking sperm out of dudes.
Oh,
It milks the prostate gland,
yeah.
and so that's what they're trying to get at, so that they.
But
can,
couldn't you just do that with like, if you're sophisticated enough, wouldn't you be able to? Oh.
I mean, sure, that's
You
one
could
of
just
the
do
ways.
it with like electrical waves to the brain, right? You just
Maybe.
hook up a helmet, stimulate the right fucking thing. It'd
I
be
don't
the
know.
same exact thing. That's all it is.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's the most efficient way. I don't know.
That's what it would be, right? It's
I'm not
about
a-
efficiency and speed.
They probably know better. I don't know. Maybe they like doing it.
Maybe that's where they stick the tracker.
I don't know. Some reports say they get all happy about it when they see it happening. Well, it's like that. Some reports are like, woo, they get some of the. Who fucking knows? They're fucked up.
I think it's obvious that there is definitely
We are. I totally
not
believe
alone.
that
We're definitely not alone.
we're their slave race, and we always have been since they came here on Earth, and that's
So
just
you
the way it
listen
is.
to fucking what's his name? Fucking
No,
Billy fucking Carson.
whatever. I mean, I'm not really. I mean, I do, but I don't buy into it. Kai's told me he sells some product and shit. Once he said that,
I was telling you that.
yeah,
too.
you did too. Then I kind of fell
he's
off
a
it.
grifter. Like
He-
he's definitely a grifter.
He's
like,
knowledgeable about the text and shit, but I don't.
Right.
That's where
I
I fall
think a
off.
lot of what he says is true about the ancient history shit. I think, or like partially true. There's something there, right? But like when
He's
you go
knowledgeable
to
about Thoth, about that. He's
when you go
knowledgeable
to
about
his
that.
website, though, it's one of the least professional websites I've ever seen, and everything is about him selling some stupid shit. I listened to his podcast. It was a whole fucking podcast about manifesting.
Yeah.
and, like
It's too
get the-
jack of all
it's
trades,
too
master of
woo-woo.
none.
Yeah. It's like
The people that I'm interested in with that are the ones that are like, this is really what happened. Like, I'm not looking at, oh, look at the gates here, and this is what happened with the Stargate. Okay, great. I want to know, like, look, the eyes are fucking open, dude. Like, they've been here the whole time. Like, this is the shit that happened, right? Like we're genetically fucking manipulated.
So you believe the aliens have been here for years. Do you think they're still here right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that this is what I think. This is my official take.
Do you think are you talking about like the original like Anunnaki, they just never left?
They left. They may have left. There is
the Anunnaki, right? Those are the alien race.
The Sumerians, yep. So they're reptilian by nature. Okay, a hybrid.
Are we talking about the same group, or
Yep.
is this two different theories?
Well, they're a group. So there's effectively the simplistic version is that there's two competing separate versions.
Just two?
Well, there's multiple versions, but there's two major factions that are in a cold war right now, and they're reptilian, and then other hybrid groups that are effectively at war or a cold war over the future of Earth's resources.
So they're reptilians and they're aliens?
Insectoids, yeah, like and greys. The greys are on one side, and then there's also like a Luciferian Satanist agenda that's involved in this.
Okay, so bring up Iron Sky.
And like
or Iron Skies.
the Hitler agenda, the Black Suns.
So
Black
basically,
Suns.
you're describing. This is why I think this is fucking hilarious. So basically, you're describing the movie Iron Skies,
Okay.
which is this is so preposterous. This movie is insane. So it's you got it ready, Murph? Iron Sky or Iron Skies. It's about. That's it. Okay, so here's what it is. It's about reptilian shape-shifting.
Yep.
Nazis hiding on the dark side of the moon.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's about a battle to the hollow earth.
Yep.
Oh my god, dude. It's
No, I mean listen.
that's basically what you're describing. You're basically
to a
describing
degree.
this movie. The difference is this movie is fucking hilarious, dude. It is
Right.
one of the most ridiculous movies you'll ever watch. Please go watch it as soon as possible.
Sure.
Trust me, your life will be better because of it. For the listeners as well, not just you, Greg.
So,
for the listeners,
Here's the deal.
Iron Sky. I'm pretty sure you can watch it on like Amazon or
I get that.
Netflix or something.
I get that.
Watch that movie, dude.
I get that. Okay. I totally get that. And
It sounds ridiculous.
no, and I'm sure it is ridiculous. The concept of the moon being fake is not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous at all.
it's super ridiculous.
It doesn't rotate. It doesn't fucking rotate.
Yeah, it's called tidally locked
Okay. So why do we see one side of it? Only?
because it doesn't spin. It's tidally locked.
Okay. So let me ask you this.
It's the same thing.
Okay, let me ask you this. Would you be shocked if you were to be told that fucking there was something living inside the moon? Would you be just totally fucking shocked?
Like it's an egg.
Yeah, or if the world
Yeah, I would be blown away.
you would be blown away.
I would be
if you,
fucking.
If you were told that we were never at the moon, you'd be blown away?
Yeah, because I went to space camp twice, and I seen the actual, the one that they built that they didn't send.
Yeah.
Because they built two of everything in case something went wrong. And
Keep in mind, I'm not saying I completely believe this.
dude, it's pretty impressive, you know. And then you're watching Elon Musk not only do it, but he's fucking like doing it dope. Because
We're watching him do what?
like, dude, he caught that rocket, dude.
But we're not watching him go to the moon.
Not yet.
Okay, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
he's reinventing the technology in the industry first.
We're talking about the moon, though.
I think Mars is a little more irrational, but he'll definitely be on the moon soon.
I'm just only talking about the moon.
He'll be on the moon soon.
Okay, so
The Mars thing, I still think it's like 30 years before we get to Mars. I don't think people understand how fucking complicated that will be. To
Right.
safely put a person on Mars and leave them there the way Elon's talking about, I still think we're at least 30 years away.
I think that before anybody really talks about how ridiculous the whole concept of like the moon conspiracy is, really do a deep dive on the United States government's secret space programs and the Nazi involvement after World War II.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's legit.
Okay, and so once you go down that hole,
The rocket
It's-
worked perfectly. It just
Yeah.
landed on the wrong planet.
it's a totally different discussion, right? The Nazis were absolutely onto some shit with the occult and World War II, and let's look at it through that lens. They absolutely had some assistance from some shit that was not of this realm building up that army.
Well, they were all on meth, for sure. and they did a lot of acid and LSD. And
Okay.
I'm talking about the engineers and the scientists.
Okay. So you don't think
This
that
has been known for a while. I'm not saying I don't think that they also like Hitler and those people were doing the occult shit for sure.
Yep.
And I do believe in that stuff. That's why I don't fuck with it, because I think it's fucking Satanism.
Yep.
And yeah, I think they got some extra knowledge, some shit they weren't supposed to have, some forbidden fucking fruit, that gave them short-term insane power.
Yep.
But then, the brightest flame burns quickest type of metaphor. Yeah, they made a sequel. I'm telling you, it's amazing, dude. Like, go watch this, you guys. Do yourself a favor and watch the original, and
the
then watch
army
the
of
sequel.
dinosaurs.
That's in the second one. That's when they actually get to the Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, where there's dinosaurs.
So here's the
King
thing.
Kong stole this idea.
Here's the thing. This all goes into a long running theory that I've had about any type of entertainment that we watch. They intentionally make shit look ridiculous or palatable for us over the years with everything.
Desensitization.
Yes.
You're talking about. Yep.
Yes, and so
by the time they reveal it, you're like, they've been talking about that on TV for 20 years.
correct, and we are arrogant on the front end, right? So it's intentionally bypassed, right? Like the Hollywood shit,
Yep.
like the Jay-Z shit,
Yep.
like the Puff Daddy shit.
Yep.
So, look, I'm not
The weirdest one is the transitioning kid things. And I'm not saying this is actually 100% accurate, but you got to think, a little metaphorically. I'm talking to the listeners too.
Yeah.
So bear with me. Just hear me out. You remember the old fucking Christians who were like, you can't legalize gay marriage because the next thing they're doing is going right after the kids.
Yep.
In a way, they were kind of right, dude.
I mean,
Like, and it's kind of fucked up, dude.
look,
Like, it's not cool, man.
it's
Leave kids alone. I'll support you transitioning once you're 18.
it
I'll advise my kids to wait till they're 25.
the whole. It's not what it looks like. It is what it looks like. Oh, it's not what it seems like. Like, it is what it seems like. That's exactly what it seems like. You are fucking my wife. It is what it seems like when you walk in the bedroom. Like, that is
Yeah.
what it seems like.
And that's what, because I think you said earlier, you're like, I don't know where the fuck it came from. I think that's what it was. It was like a slow drip of just like desensitizing people to this idea that now it's become like almost a fad. Like it's like in vogue. And we went through this once as a culture. Remember the 80s when everybody dressed like women? Like dudes were wearing makeup and shit?
Yeah.
And AIDS killed that. Like the AIDS scare of the early 90s is what killed that. It killed hair metal. It killed partying. It killed fucking. It killed fucking.
If you if you really want to look at it in a dark way, society on a global level with war, with AIDS, with viruses, the death culture, right? The culture of death, they're all mass sacrifices to the satanic gods, to the Egyptian gods, right? All of these mass death waves are massive sacrifices.
Dude. So I have this theory I've been building for a long time, dude, that I believe the Greek and Egyptian gods
Yes.
are just angels, because there's this part in the Bible, and I can never fucking find it. I can never, even when I search it, but it's in the Bible, because I got a couple buddies where I'm like, tell me what verse this is, and they tell me, and literally I can read it. But for some reason, when you search it, even in a digital Bible, you cannot find this.
Yeah.
But I promise you it's in there, and I will eventually find this and prove it to everybody, because I've said this multiple times. But it talks about there's 3 heavens,
Okay.
like layers, and God resides in like the highest, the 3rd heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And he sits in the assembly of gods judging other gods, right? So there's another verse in the Bible where like John or Paul or somebody was like, and there are other gods you still need to pay homage to, just something like, don't forget who reigns most high or almighty or something. And that's where, like, depending on your interpretation, that's where the term the almighty, right? Because it wasn't saying there are no other gods.
Right.
Is what it says in the first commandment is worship no other gods before me.
Right.
Right. So, and then there's multiple. I'm kind of Tarantinoing this thing. So this isn't linear. There's other parts in the Bible too where it talks about like God coming down into the Garden of Eden and looking for Adam and Eve. And he's like, yo, where are you fucks?
Yep.
And they're like, oh, we're over here. And he's like, why were you fucking hiding from me? And
Yep.
they're like, oh, because we're naked. And
Yep.
he's like, who the fuck told you you were naked? And they were like, we just figured that out. And then all of a sudden he goes, you ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Yes.
And then he basically turns around and he's talking to somebody else. And he says, they are now like us. They are now gods. They now know the difference
Yeah.
between good and evil. So who the fuck was he talking to?
So-
right? And then my point is, my final thing is then when when the whole Lucifer confrontation happens, right? And he casts Lucifer down to heaven. What I think happens here is I also think that's out of time, linear. I don't think that actually happened when they say it happened.
Okay.
I think time is super relative there, because we know about like with physics now.
Sure.
Again, this starts to explain, science starts to explain these things in a way that actually makes sense, right? So we know like when you're farther away from Earth traveling at the speed of light, you will experience time differently than somebody who stays on Earth, right?
Sure.
So like imagine that kind of same concept up in the heavens, right? So the idea is that God left and went somewhere, and when he came back, Lucifer was sitting on his throne, and he cast him and a third of his angels down to earth, right?
Okay.
So what I think is somewhere in that process, whether it was while God was gone, because where do you go
Well, right.
to come back to see Lucifer sitting on your throne,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
Or trying to get to your throne or whatever.
Well, they had made a pact to sleep with the Earth Woman.
Something like this,
Yeah.
right? So then somewhere in that transition of it, either him being gone and Lucifer sitting on the throne with a third of the angels, or in the process of him casting him down to earth with a third of the angels, somewhere in that, got to think of outside linear time.
Yep.
That's when all of the Greek and Roman gods, Greek, Roman, Egyptian, all of that, because that could have taken 12,000 years for that to actually happen, for all these civilizations to basically come up with
Yep.
the same gods with different names. You know what I mean?
There's-
It's
there's a
just
bunch of
very
theories.
bizarre.
Bunch of
It's
theories
very
on that.
bizarre.
They're reincarnations of
And
the
then
same fallen
suddenly-
angels, the same oversoul.
And
Same
then,
oversoul.
And then suddenly monotheism shows up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's what he's showing right here. It's all basically the same concept, same oversoul, right? They reincarnating, so to speak, or the same unlimited oversoul showing up in Norse culture, showing up in Greek, right? Over time, right? But they're stuck in this realm, right? Cast down here.
Yeah, and there's also conspiracies that Christianity is just stolen from this.
Yep, there's that. I mean, it's all.
So go back up, Murph, so I can read this for the listeners, because eventually we're going back on audio soon. So I got to read this out loud. So the Anunnaki were a group of deities, Mesopotamian mythology, who were led by different gods at different times. An, or Anu, was the king of the gods and the ruler of the heavens and the most powerful of the Anunnaki. And then there's like other dudes like Enlil, the god of air and storms, and son of An. So what I think is that An or Anu, that's just Lucifer, right? Pretending to be God, and all of these other gods are just his angels, his fallen angels that became the Nephilim, that came down to earth and bred with humans and created giants. And like if any of my conspiracy shit is true with my religious bullshit, like if any of my fucking bullshit is true, that's more of like how I kind of tie it all together. And it's funny because the more I learn about science,
Yep.
the more this actually makes sense.
You could totally dissect it a bunch. Totally, you could dissect it a bunch of different ways. Bottom line is that any way you cut it, like any text that we look at, right, has been manipulated by man. Period.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not. You got to look into your heart, right, and it for the benefit of man, right, and for the benefit of being good. Like that just seems to be the simple answer.
Yeah.
And that's it. And anything that deviates from that isn't what to do. I don't know. And anything more complex than that is wrong. And I don't think it's any more complex than that. And you're not smart for trying to fucking make it more complex than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That in and of itself is the paradox. The person that thinks they're the most intelligent proves themselves to be ignorant every step of the way.
Right.
So, King James, by trying to be most righteous, proved to be more evil with each revision.
Right. Yep.
Type of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. The King James Bible is one of the least reliable or trustworthy Bibles you could possibly read.
It's fucking
It's
crazy.
been manipulated so many times.
Just the concept of a revision,
In fact, the entire modern day Bible is highly sus simply because the Church of Nicaea. Pull this up, Murph. Pull up the Church of Nicaea. Is basically, I think it's 13 churches
I had this conversation with
got together and they all voted on what the current version of the Bible was. And if my memory is correct, I think it's called the Church of Nicaea. And I don't remember. I think it's Nicea, maybe. I'm probably getting that wrong. AEA? My bad. I think this is the right term. So basically, if I remember right, they convened by the Roman Emperor, Constantine Council, blah, 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 was the first of many efforts to attain consensus on the church through an assembly representing all Christendom. So basically what they're doing here is creating the modern day Bible. Now, if I remember right, here's the problem.
So they tried to come to a conclusion.
Well, they tried to come to a consensus, not a conclusion.
Yeah, okay.
So here's the problem. When they are bringing this script, this text, this holy text to the table, if I remember right, all it took was one of those, I think it's 13, which is an auspicious number. It could have been 7, but I think it was 13. But all it took is one of those churches to be like, nope, not that one.
Right.
We don't believe this part of that one, so the whole thing's thrown out.
Right.
So there's huge chunks.
Who knows what the power structure was at that time?
Because there's
right.
parts of the Bible that don't agree with each other.
Right.
Because even Jesus' own followers, those 12 apostles, none of them were Jesus.
Right.
Like there was times through Jesus's life where they were following him, where he would lecture them. He's like,
Right.
"No, you're not getting it. You're not listening."
Well, then
I'm
there's
trying to
the
explain
Gnostic
this
texts,
and that. And
the
blah, blah.
Gnostic texts
Yeah,
that
dude.
are fucking totally different than
Yep.
that. I
Yep.
mean,
there's a bunch of it, dude.
it's-
The dead, or is it the Dead Sea
the
Scrolls?
Gnostic texts are
The
fucking crazy.
The Book of Jubilees, dude. There's a bunch of them, bro.
I mean, it's
Some of it fills gaps. Some of it contradicts other books of the Bible.
the Gnostic texts go back to the fucking reptilian shit and the archons creating the fucking physical reality.
And this is why I said on that last podcast we were on, I was like, this is why I just simply follow the teachings of Jesus.
Right.
Because all the rest of it is a bunch of nonsense created by man to control people
Right.
and manipulate people. Like, the teachings of Jesus are legit. That's what I try to do.
Right.
That's what I try to be. It's that fucking simple. The 10 Commandments, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
No,
keep
exactly.
it simple. Move forward. I really don't try to judge people. If people ask me, hey, man, what do you think of this? I'll tell you. If you're
Right.
doing something egregious, I'll definitely call you out.
Right.
But I'm not trying to preach or convert people. I'm not trying to call people sinners. I'm like, bro, that's fucked up. Don't be doing that dumb shit. Like, really?
Right.
And honestly, man, I lose friends over it. I lost another one recently, but that's cool. Like, that's fine, because it's what we go to tie this back to where we started this conversation is, again, those aren't the people I want around me then.
Right.
Like, if you're going to do fucked up shit around me and then I call you out on it and we can't be friends, then I don't want to be friends with you either.
Should be able to
Get
talk
the
through
fuck
things.
out of here,
Talk
bro.
through things, and it's red.
No, I want good people that make me a better person. I want people to call me on my bullshit when I say or do something fucked up. I want people to be like, Jared, what the fuck, dude? And I'll be like, oh, fuck, you're right. My
Right.
bad.
Right. That's life.
You know what I mean?
That's how we
Like,
work through things as friends.
Yeah.
Right. And just in general, yeah, exactly. And if somebody's got an issue with me, you can call me,
Yeah.
message me.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
In
hit me
general.
up. Hit me up.
Otherwise, I'm just going to assume that it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Right. I don't know.
And that's the other thing. I butt heads with people fairly often, but I don't hold it against them.
Well, no, people
we were
like
both
us-
we were both being a little cunty. I'm over it. Are you over it? Let's just move forward. Because
Thing
we're
is-
not always going to agree on everything.
People like you and me that have no problem stating what the fuck is on our mind are going to rub people the wrong way.
Right.
It's just the way that it is. I mean, I came to peace with that a while ago. I know that I'm not a bad person.
Right.
I know that I've got a good heart, and it's a work in progress, right? In general, but I'm gonna say what's on my fucking mind.
I think that should be like commendable, because at least you always know people like that are going to be real and honest, even if they're coming off the wrong way or whatever. Because the one thing I hate more than anything else, and maybe hate's too strong of a word, but I don't think it is, because I really loathe it. Like, it really fucking just makes me just, is shitty people with perfect manners. Like, really bad people, like, with just bad takes, bad opinions. They're evil people. They, like, fucking whatever it is, but they're like perfectly mannered and perfectly polite.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Surface,
dude.
surface level.
And there's so many of those people, dude,
Right.
who just like they're essentially sociopaths. They just weave their way through life,
Right.
dude, and they'll set you up, dude. They'll get you all riled up, and then be like, "Oh my god, you're crazy."
Right.
It's like, you got me here, motherfucker.
Right.
Oh my god, dude, that shit drives me nuts.
No, I'm with you.
Well, listen, man, let's wrap this up, dude. Fucking November 9th, Skyway Theater. I'm playing that show as well. We go on, what did you give us, 3:10 or 3:15 or something like that?
It's early. The
Valhalla
doors are
Fest.
at 2.
$20 in advance.
Mm-hmm.
There's 9 bands. No, 9 hours. How
There's
many bands?
9
14
hours,
bands.
12 bands. 12 bands. 2 bands have
14
dropped.
bands. Let's run through these real quick.
Yep.
Let's run through these and tell people about what's going on.
Yeah.
So scroll down, Steve. Okay, so Stare Across.
Stare Across from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Buddy,
New band?
good buddies of mine. No. They're from the band No Loving Place.
Oh, I remember
from
that
back in the
band.
day.
Yeah.
Good friends of mine. Means a lot
That was a good band.
Fuck yeah. Eric Giardina, rest in peace, who played with us for many years. From those guys out there. So
Who's that down there? Is that Harsh Reality?
Harsh Reality.
Harsh Reality, that's Tempest and Jen Dean.
Yep.
I wish we had a little bit more time for more podcasts in between now and then, because I wanted to get Tempest on the podcast for a long time. I've had Jen Dean on a few times. Granite Peak, those are new guys.
Yep.
That's a new band.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. And then they're actually they're going to be open in the night, and they're splitting their time with a band called Fragged Out. They're friends of theirs, so they're like, they didn't have enough time, but they're good friends of mine, and they're newer, right? So I wanted them to. They're just gonna split the night, split the time at the beginning of the day.
Dibbity dope. Okay.
Semtex not playing. They broke up. So
They're not on the bill anymore?
not in the bill anymore. They're not a band anymore.
Oh, okay.
APOD.
When were they going to play on the bill?
They're going to play earlier because
Okay.
Dennis was doing double duty.
Okay.
So
and he wanted a break in between?
yeah, we were going to give him a break in between. Yeah.
Okay.
So
A-Pod's coming back,
yeah, APOD coming back. Yep.
and I'm saying Uzi is playing that show.
Uzi not playing a show. He's got a show with Cobb that day. Otherwise, he was gonna. But Luke.
I'm pretty sure Uzi's playing that show.
No, not.
I'm pretty sure they're throwing us all for a ringer, dude.
Well, that would be awesome if he is. That would be great if
I'm
he is.
pretty sure
I
he's
know.
playing
I know.
that
Zilch is. I mean, Zilch is my homie, and I have not talked to Luke in a while, but I love Luke to death, and it's going to be great to see him.
But yeah, I just had Tim on the podcast.
Okay.
Like a week or two.
Really?
ago. Yeah.
Okay.
He did not say it.
Then he's bullshitting me. Then if that's the case.
I think they're bullshitting everybody. I
Okay.
think they've got something special up their sleeve.
Oh, good. Good.
Who's Electric Condor?
Electric Condor is Calvin's band. Remember
Calvin?
Breed?
Breed. I remember the name Breed.
So Calvin, my old guitar player, Calvin
Okay.
Breeden, Raymond Breed, his old band Breed. That's the new band Electric Condor. He lives in Denver.
Okay, sick.
So they're playing. They're fucking awesome.
Dratio, that's Pojo. He's been on the podcast.
Yep.
Heavy what?
Heavy Blazer. They're from
Heavy
California. And Friday, the night before, they're playing at Club Underground with Fragged Out and who is the fucking Al's band, Destroy the Planet.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So I got the California guys on another show.
Yeah, and then that's us, Montoya Machine, and then you've got Straight Jacket. That's Iowa, right?
No, Straight Jackets are OG fucking first generation new metal guys from fucking like '98 from like when we played with Head Charge at like the first fucking
Yeah, but
new
I
metal.
thought they were Iowa.
No,
my bad.
That was 35-inch Mutter.
Gotcha. Okay.
Straight Jackets from here, so they're coming back to play the show with us, which is fucking awesome.
Who's that band?
Leaving Hope.
Leaving Hope.
Yep. Good fucking newer band. Fucking writes really, really fucking good songs.
I like that logo, but those letters need to be way bigger.
Yeah,
I got to be able to read.
You'll dig the tunes if you've not heard them.
When are they playing?
They're fucking playing the closing slot. They just played out in fucking. They're on the come up big time. They just played out in Sturgis. Won a battle of the bands to open for Bad Wolves.
Okay.
Super marketable stuff. Really good singer.
What time did they go on?
Right after us.
I know. What time is that?
10:15 or something like that.
Okay.
10:20.
Okay, so not too late.
Yep.
I'll be interested in checking them out, actually. Hopefully I can fucking hack it that late, dude. With us going on so early, dude. I might leave for a while and come back because it's like 10 minutes from here.
The whole thing gets over at 11:10.
Yeah, I know, dude, but I got to be there at fucking 11 to load in, dude. Come on.
I know.
Come on, bro.
I
Come
know,
on.
I know.
Come
I
on,
know.
dude.
I know.
That's a fucking 12-hour day
I
on
got to
concrete,
be there the day
bro.
before.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is what you signed up for, dude. This is why you said you're miserable. And then we got.
I know. Does it make sense now? Now it's making a lot of fucking sense after we talked about it for 3 fucking hours.
If I had a really comfortable van or bus to go chill in, then I would be there all day because I could just go chill for a half hour, sit down, take a load off, but I can't. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to come home for like 2 hours. I might even shower, fucking change, and then come back down there.
Yep.
Hang with me. I'll be there all day.
Are you coming to the show, Murph?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Put it on my calendar.
Nice. And then obviously Reaping, those are the homies, and then you guys.
Yep.
So you guys are playing effectively the headlining slot, or are you calling that Reaping?
It
I
goes.
assume Reaping plays right before you.
It goes. Straight Jacket plays before, so it goes Reaping, Straight Jacket, us, Leaving Hope, on the main stage.
Nice.
A-Pod, Derek Show, Reaping, Straight Jacket, us, Leaving Hope.
Sick.
Is the order up there? So yeah, I mean,
And then we play early as fuck, you guys. So if anybody's interested in come checking us out, I'd fucking be fucking surprised. But
there'll be some people. I mean, it's all ladies show.
if you want to hang out with us after the show, I'll be fucking surprised. But we're playing second, so it's Granite Peak, then us, and then Harsh Reality.
I think Stare Across is playing sometime in there too.
Are they? I thought there's only 3 bands in that B room.
They're playing in there too.
Oh, really?
Yep. So
Okay.
it's something like that. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
It's all ladies show. It's all festival.
I thought we played right before Harsh Reality. I thought
Here, let me see.
it doesn't matter, but there's bands that people will come out to see early.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, and if not, then there will not be another one. But my hope is that next
You
year.
can do this again next year.
Yeah, my hope is that next year I'll just promote it, right? And fucking whatever. If I'm on it with the project, then I am. Then if not, I'm just fucking promoting it in the room. I want to build a good business relationship with this room. I have a good business relationship with the people in there right now. I really like the fucking room.
I hate the flyer.
It's a huge
I
room.
hate the flyer.
You do? That's Poja's.
The more I look at it, the more I hate it. But I've been very
You
vocal.
don't like it? I like it.
The more I've also been very vocal about this. So I got to stick to my guns, otherwise I don't have any integrity. No, it's way too busy, especially for like this style of fest. Honestly, man, like there should only be like 4 actual logos up there.
Okay.
And then all the rest of those bands, including mine, should just be in like regular text.
I got you. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Too
Like,
artsy?
Make it more artsy. Like it's too busy. It's chaotic.
Okay, I got you.
But I do get it. And it's a tough call. You could do 2 flyers. You could do a logo one, and then you could do like the normal one. I don't know, dude. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No, you're good. I got you.
I just hate busy flyers, dude. I fucking hate them so much. Dude.
It all goes back to it on a local show when you have this many bands. It's like fucking you gotta have everyone kind of equally on it, and it's like it's just a shit show. It's just a shit show. It's a fucking shit show.
Well, hopefully it goes well, and we can do it again next year.
Yep. It should be they're super cool to work with. If we get over the course of the day, we just gotta, if as long as, I think it's gonna be fucking all right. I'm stoked.
Semtex isn't playing at all, though.
No, they broke up.
Did you replace them with anybody?
Nope.
Okay.
When
so you
bands
just-
dropped, I was just like, we're just gonna fucking roll with it and keep the schedule fucking, blessing in disguise for open
But
schedule.
that's not 14 bands there, is it?
No,
1,
it's
2,
12.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, I guess so. So it's 12 now. Then why does it say 14 bands?
They just never updated on the site.
Unprofessional! Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hey,
That's it. I'm not going. That's it. Cancel it.
I don't blame you.
Cancel it. I'm out.
Hey,
I'm out. That's all it took for me, man. That's all it took. Sorry, buddy. No, I'm kidding, guys.
It's basement shows for everybody.
I hope you guys like to party because we're definitely going to be doing a little drinks. And then we are back next week. We're going to do 2 podcasts next week. We're going to do one for the election night on Tuesday night And then we're going to get the Montoya machine together for a podcast. So that'll be next Thursday, right before the show.
Nice.
So the Thursday before, I'm going to get the whole group in here. And we're going to hang out and talk some shit. Yep. So we're gonna do 2 next week. We're gonna do
I'll
2
have
next
the
week.
Akashic record update for the election night.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Sick, dude.
I'll let you know what the
Cool.
what the record's.
Yeah, bring some tracks, dude, because that's gonna be a long fucking night, dude.
Okay. Yeah.
Bring whatever we can play, whatever you want us to play.
Tomorrow
We'll
I'll
do it.
have the next round.
Sweet, dude. All right, man. I'll see you next
much-
Tuesday for a little bit at least. man.
Yeah, love you, man. Thank you for the guest
Where
spot.
can people follow you? Blackfoot Diesel.
For right now, yeah. For right now, that, and then I'll have
And then-
Oversoul is the new project with Wally
So
Joseph,
keep an eye out for that. Where can people follow you? Is it like just Greg Moog?
Greg Moog on Facebook, and then White Crosses is going to be the metal project.
Okay, sweet deal. I'm Jared Singer, live on everything. If you guys want to follow me, thank you. Like, subscribe, help get us to 500 subs so we can monetize, and then we can help get these producers paid more. Right now, I'm just paying them fucking basically gas money. Fucking. But we
you,
want to
guys.
get them paid. 100% of that money will go to these guys when we hit 500 subs. So,
Thank you guys for listening very much, and much love to everybody out there.
yep, 100%. Hopefully, we see you guys on the 9th, and I'll see the rest of you next Tuesday. Peace out.
God bless.